In 1989, there was a movie made, perhaps the most expensive Nintendo commercial ever made. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
I'm Patrick.
This is Bad Movies,
Worst People.
Me and you that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking froze.
I'm
I'm glad that I said something. Otherwise, you would have sounded like an idiot.
She just didn't want to harmonize.
Can we do that? Bad
No,
Okay,
No, it's
fine.
fine.
that's how it sits.
Just say it right now, and I'll see if it fits in.
Worst people.
This is the last week of our back to school special. Fuck it, I'm not doing it again. This is it.
Gone too far.
The shitbirds have gotten to Derek.
Yes, they have.
This film came out in 1989. As I mentioned, it is entitled The Wizard.
Ooh.
Not The Wiz.
Not The Wiz. Oh, I watched a different movie.
Uh-oh.
I don't think it would be very helpful here. Did Nipsey
Get on down
Russell
the
play
road.
Nintendo?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah. I've seen that movie too. Rated PG for parental guidance. I don't know why. Fantasy violence.
Kidnapping?
Kidnapping? It's the 80s.
Alleged boob touching.
Yeah, there is alleged boob touching.
People who hunt children.
Yeah. Apparently, it's illegal to hunt children.
That was legal.
I mean, it's legal
somebody's
for
in
this
my
guy.
house.
I mean, he's got a bolo tie. He can be
If
trusted,
you have a bolo
obviously.
tie, you can hunt children.
Dude,
See, yeah, that's what I thought.
I clocked this guy's bolo tie right a fucking way. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
100%.
He's not, but it is.
Oh, he's a dick.
Yeah. Putnam?
He's like a bad version of
I
one
don't
of the
even
guys
know
from the
his name.
Goonies.
I want to
Yes,
say
it
it
was
hated him
Putnam.
so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, he's we talked about it previous episode how you get typecast sometimes is like, oh, you're just going to play a pedophile the rest
Child
of your life.
hunter.
This is like him trying to get out of the pedophile role and not getting that far away. Not far enough away,
he's still
sir.
taking children and
Oh,
getting
he's-
paid for
He's
it.
about to have a seat here.
How he
On this
makes
podcast,
his
he
living.
will have a seat.
Yeah. Oh, and I love it when he just screams at that kid, I hate you. It's great.
Yeah.
So it's directed by Todd Holland, not Tom Holland.
Sad.
We would have known about it way before, but was he even alive at this time?
No.
No.
Oh, heck.
No.
Born
that
in
kid's
1996. I only know that because somebody once told me how you figure out like the range of what's considered millennial, because it's 1981 to 1996. It's Chris Evans to Tom Holland.
Okay.
You're going to hear dog barking. There's thunder rolling throughout.
So this was his first feature film. He only made 3. He directed a lot of TV. The other 2, only one I've heard of, Krippendorf's Tribe,
Okay.
which is another bad movie.
Dreyfus?
Is it Dreyfus?
Kippendorf's Tribe?
Is that the one? Yeah.
I
love
confused
this
that
movie.
with
That's not the
Jungle
one
to
with-
Jungle. That's Tim Allen.
That's Tim
Jungle
Allen.
to Jungle, yes. So Krippendorf's Tribe is yeah.
Dreyfus.
Me too. I get them mixed
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I don't think I
And
saw
then
the
you,
other one.
you
so-
throw in the wild card of Man of the House with Chevy Chase
is Daniel
and JTT.
Stern in that too? Or is that a different movie with a
That's-
bunch of kids at camp?
Bushwhacked.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, that's
there you go.
Bushwhacked.
I think they had a similar cover.
Wasn't that like his solo one?
You could blend all fucking four
Like
of
it was
those movies
him
together.
as the star of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
okay.
do it.
Krippendorf's Tribe
I'm
is the
in.
one where Richard Dreyfuss like makes up a fake tribe. and
It films
and
it
it's
in his
full of-
house.
Yeah, and it's full of like really racist stuff.
Yeah.
He has his kids doing like blackface and stuff.
At the time, though, it was very Disney.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
it's-
Disney
I
is
have
full.
seen
Disney
that.
is all about family values. That's why you shouldn't be going to see things like this Barbie movie and stuff because they've lost their. I don't know if that's Disney, but they've lost.
I
It's
doubt
not.
it.
It's
It's probably
Warner, but
Mattel.
it doesn't matter. They've lost their family values like blackface and the Song of the South.
So I did recently watch Peter Pan with my nieces, and there's a disclaimer now in front of it, and it has to be talking about the Native Americans.
Oh,
that
yeah.
they very clearly are
Ow.
just
Yeah.
It just the most but it says like
Disrespectful.
hey, there's some things here that we're not proud of, we're leaving it in, yada
which
yada.
I actually really respect that
I
warning.
would-
Like,
More than taking it
Echo
out.
that.
yeah, I
sentiment,
saw
dude, yeah.
some people online complaining about it. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe they're doing this." And I'm like, "Well, the other option was remove it."
Yeah.
Look
You
at the
acknowledge it,
Siamese
but
cats
you're-
and
yeah.
Lady and the Tramp, and you tell me what's going on.
Leave it here so we can learn from it.
Yeah.
We're not just getting rid of history, people.
So this guy directed another movie called Firehouse Dog. Never heard of it. Don't want to watch it. I have a feeling I know what it is.
Airbud family?
Yeah, like it probably exists
A
within
dog
the.
that firefights.
It exists
We've got a
within the
problem.
BCU, the Buddies Cinematic
The Buddy
Universe.
Cinematic.
So this guy just likes working with kids?
I guess he also
he a
directed
pedo?
some episodes
Have a
of Twin
seat.
Peaks.
Have a seat.
He did direct some episodes of Twin
I
Peaks.
think it's called Twin Seats.
He directed most of the Larry Sanders Show.
Ooh.
He did a lot of Malcolm in the Middle. And then most of a series that I don't know if anybody else here watched but me that was called Sons of Tucson. It was
Oh,
a six-
I think I tried to watch the first
Tyler
episode.
Labine.
Tyler Bean. I didn't watch it, but
Yeah.
I'm aware of it.
I only watched it because it was called Sons of Tucson. I think I was like probably
Hey, Whitney,
16
get
or
in here.
18
There's a
something.
show on about Tucson.
Well, and then you sit there and you're watching it and you're like, you mean Sons of like Western California? Because there's not
Yeah.
a single fucking Saguaro.
Hey,
If you're going to call it Sons of fucking Tucson, go to Tucson.
we all saw Rambo live in Bowie, Arizona, with all those, saguaros.
in Bowie, Spain.
Lacking.
Bowie, Spain.
But so I mean, he's done a lot of stuff. Some of it's been popular. This was one of them. I think. I don't know how well this really did. I don't think I ended up looking that up, but I can't
this
remember.
is
I'm sure
one
there
that-
was an age demographic to it.
Yeah.
at least in my group, everyone had watched this. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think anybody sitting here didn't have a fucking Nintendo.
No.
And
Yeah.
if you had a Nintendo, you watched this movie.
I did not have a Nintendo.
Get out.
My aunt and uncle in Iowa, when they lived in the nipple
The
of the state.
nipple of the country.
Yeah.
Iowa, America's
they had
nipple.
a Nintendo. I had an Atari.
Okay. Oh yeah, I had an Atari as well. Atari was a little bit
Oh, a little rich boy
before
over
this.
here. No, I'm just kidding. I had all of them
Yeah,
too.
man.
No, it was in lieu of having a father. So it's like, you have an Atari now. He raises you.
My parents I was pretty up to date because my dad worked at IBM, so he had technology stuff. So he had like an Atari, and then we had a Nintendo, and then I ended up getting a Super Nintendo, and then I got a Nintendo 64, and then I didn't get shit.
Yeah,
I had to
because
buy
you
my
get a
own
job.
after that. Well, then my brother started getting stuff, and it's like I'm like, I'm gonna play Xbox. He's like, that's my Xbox. I'm like, "Fuck you, man.
Damn it. He was actually just saving you from all the racial slurs that the original Xbox Live had and still does, I'm sure.
I was gonna say original Xbox.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, like that was the fucking because there was you had to have a microphone. And there was no
Yeah.
turning it off. So you had to hear how all these kids fucked your mom.
You just put on your headset, and it's just like and you just take it right off.
You dirty. Like just like
Did I ever tell you the story about one of our customers who sits at the bar and plays video games on his tablet? I
Oh,
won't say
yeah.
his name. He was sitting there playing one night. He's playing his Call of Duty that he's playing or whatever, and he always has his thing off. And he turned it on because he was basically he wanted to talk shit because he was playing with a bunch of people who sucked, and he was just like, "Hey, you suck." And this kid goes, "You're black." And he's like,
I
"Yes,
am.
yes, I'm
yeah,
black."
he actually is. It's not an insult.
I was like, "How is yelling you're black an insult?"
That's
Like,
the meanest thing this kid could say. Fuck you.
I mean, I guess at least he wasn't using racial slurs. I don't know
because he's
They found a loophole.
he
You're
doesn't want to
black.
get banned.
I am.
Yes,
And I'm kicking your ass.
Yeah.
and I'm still better than you.
You still suck.
So there was a fun little thing which I wish I would have known about. Or I'm sure no theater in Tucson did it, but some of the participating theaters when this came out distributed like a miniature Nintendo Power magazine that was like a promotional thing for this. My favorite, the reason I wrote this down though, is it was called Pocket Power, and I was
Oh,
like,
we don't.
you need to watch that.
Yeah, have a seat,
'Cause
Nintendo.
If I had gotten Pocket Power and still had it, wait.
See, you're gonna want to say this a little bit better.
Presentation, sir.
Look, if I'd had Pocket Power from my childhood to my adulthood, I could make some money. Is all I'm saying.
Here's what you do: you get yourself
think
a
it's
little
still
recorder.
trademarked.
You record yourself talking. You play it back later.
So I thought there was a surprisingly small amount of like actual shitbirds in this movie compared to all the other kids
Yeah.
movies we've done.
We just coming off of Three Ninjas. That young lady in that movie is one of the worst little shitbird actors I've ever seen.
Yeah,
This young lady is actually pretty enjoyable and has like a little young Emma Stone thing going on.
Yes,
Right?
thank
Did
you.
you see that too? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Because I had to look
I
her up.
thought
I'm like,
she-
oh, she's so familiar. No, she's not.
She also kind of reminded me of the girl from Teenage Witch.
Yeah,
Melissa
she thought she
Joan
was the
Hart?
girl
No.
from
Stranger
Teen
Things?
Witch, the movie.
80s Teenage Witch,
Oh,
the movie.
I'm
She could be
unfamiliar.
like that
I
girl
was
from
like,
that's what she
you're
like
hot.
reminded me of. I was like, you look familiar.
So
I can't
she
pick
looked
anything
kinda
else
like
out.
the girl
But
that's in Stranger Things, the redhead girl.
Yeah, that's my
And-
boss's cousin.
Nice. And then there was another kid in
Oh,
this.
yeah.
There was a black kid in this who was like a background character, and he looked exactly like the kid from Stranger Things.
With
And I
the
was-
fedora?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I told her, I was like, that's that kid from Stranger Things. She was like, maybe his grandpa. And I was like, no, that takes place in the 80s.
Don't worry. It's the final season is going to address this.
It's all in the 80s. It's fine. So yeah, we start with like a little sad kid walking down the street with sad music
The
playing.
lunchbox.
This is the Rambo origin story?
Yeah, basically.
This is him walking like away from society, headed towards Vietnam.
The end of
Is
the
that what
Hulk.
we're
Kind of.
getting?
He wants to go to California.
I mean, you know what? I'm just going to off the bat give this movie at least 1 star or 5 points for no hard R's.
No.
There is nary a slur about this kid's. I don't even
there are some
some.
stuff people say, but it's not
said, but no
Yeah.
slur words
Yeah.
to that. Yeah, no, he's made fun of for whatever this mental condition is or mental state.
I think
find out
Traumatic
Yeah.
experience.
Well, I think it's a combination because I think he's autistic.
Yeah.
The way the stacking and stuff. By the way, the kid's name is Jimmy. He's played by Luke Edwards. I don't know. I didn't really know anything else he had done, but he. So yeah, he had the traumatic experience that we find out that he saw his sister die. But if you have somebody who is already autistic and they have an experience like that, like a PTSD inducing
They would
experience,
shut down.
they'll get worse.
I appreciate this
So,
kid's lack of hugging.
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah,
I saw in the trivia that they said that the presumption was they didn't want to say he was autistic because Rain Man had come out the year before, and they didn't want people to be like, "Oh, you're biting."
But they
Dennis
did like
Dennis
so.
Hoffman
I think
style.
you just said like
Dennis
the
Hoffman?
stacking.
Dustin
Or no, he
Hoffman.
said it. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's all the signs of autism without the words of it.
Yeah, I
which
think
is
people-
fine.
Yeah,
But they didn't know what to do because they want to put him in a home.
They put him in a home.
And see the color stacking of the blocks.
yeah. Well, he didn't have the color thing going on where he's
Yeah,
like,
Fred-
Yeah, I
the
did.
colors
Don't they
together.
say he was
There
like
was
normal
blue,
at
yellow,
one
and
point?
red. It was sectioned off.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm just
So-
remembering when he's stacking popcorn boxes later.
Fred Savage at one point says that he gets put in a home for doing nothing, and I got real worried about my future. I didn't know that you could be institutionalized for doing nothing, guys.
You have no drive,
This is something.
no ambition.
This is my
This saves
something
you.
though. This is me leaving my house, getting off of my couch, and sitting on somebody else's couch.
This is us contributing to society.
Is it contributing well? No. Is it contributing? You betcha.
And gosh darn it, people like us.
I hope so.
So we're introduced. This plane flies over this kid. Another low-flying
Right?
air vehicle.
You could take this kid's hat off with this airplane. Stop it, sir.
And they end up finding him and taking him back, and we meet his mom and stepdad. So
You
the
recognize the stepdad?
Yeah.
Sam
Oh,
McMurray.
yeah.
I want to
yeah.
go around real quick, starting here. What do you know him from?
Oh, I couldn't. There's so many.
okay.
I can't even.
Because I have one in my brain. And
He was just
kinda
in
hoping,
something I was just watching, but I
I was
don't.
kind of hoping everybody had like one unique one.
There was something I
No.
was just watching, but I can't think of what it was.
Yeah, it was-
Chandler Bing's boss and
Yes!
friends that always smacks his ass. Bing!
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't.
Oh my
I
God.
know his name. I knew his name before. I didn't even have to look him up. The only reason I had to look him up was because I didn't know his character's name
Right.
It's
until
been
the
a
end of the
minute.
movie.
Oh yeah, it's said a handful of times.
Yeah.
Not even a handful. Sorry, 2 fingers full.
It's it's
So
been a
two?
minute since we've had a friend of friends on here.
Yeah.
Friend
oh
of
yeah, we've had
friends.
almost all the parents.
But I don't know. Yeah, I can't think of what. I just saw him in something, and it was around this time. He was a cop.
Yeah. Is he in one of the Lethal Weapons or no?
I don't think Derek has seen
Mayhaps.
Lethal Weapon lately.
Not late.
Show
I was going
or
to say.
the-
Whoa, dude! I gotta rethink this podcast if you haven't seen Lethal Weapon ever.
Yeah, it's not lately, but he was a cop, and it doesn't matter.
He was wearing a suit in a movie.
With a gun.
Gun sometimes not gun.
And then his wife Christine, who's played by someone named Wendy Phillips, again, not,
Didn't
not
know
really
her.
in anything.
Looked like olive oil in that first fucking scene, right? With the weird fucking sailor shit and the little fucking tie.
Are you
I didn't
talking
think
about,
about
Shelley
that.
Duvall?
No, the fucking
No,
the,
his
the
her
mom.
outfit.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's like,
okay,
olive
yes.
oil.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the Robin Williams Popeye olive
Okay.
oil.
Did you know that set still exists in whatever country they filmed it in, and we have to go?
I want to say it's Greece.
Is that so? We talked about.
The fuck movie was
I don't know.
that?
It's
I
been
think it's
30
something
years
like
since
that.
I've seen it.
I know we talked about, if we ever make money doing this, how we have to travel around and go to all the movie bars.
Oh yeah.
Do we just also go to movie abandoned sets?
Oh yeah.
1,000%.
Go to the abandoned Popeye set and make
We'll
an
find a
episode
bar
about
there.
Popeye?
I'll bring a flask and we'll drink. We'll write it off on our taxes. It's
Well,
gonna
That
be
business
great.
trip.
We'll bring a bunch of cleaned out cans of spinach and we'll just get hammered on whiskey.
So that's right, listeners. Send
Which
us
is my
money
spinach.
if you want us to do that.
Yeah. Give us money. Donate to our Patreon that doesn't exist.
Me money now.
Just hit me up on Facebook. I'll send you a send me money link. You can do
Just
that.
send us envelopes of cash. It's fine.
It's all right. The mailmen that deliver it will not go through it.
That's a guarantee.
As he's sitting
Hard
in
wink.
front of us.
Won't go through it. That's a ring. These are some Crocs. What the fuck?
Just throw it away. I never got my Crocs. So we meet the now Fred Savage's family. So and we couldn't quite figure out what was going on until like later in the movie.
They don't
Yeah.
explain it right away.
So Beau Bridges is the dad, Sam Woods. So Beau Bridges used to be with Christine.
Olive oil.
Olive oil.
Yeah, and he already had Fred Savage and Christian Slater.
Slater.
Right?
As an adult.
Dude, Beau Bridges' character has like the worst life because he was married and he had those 2 kids and his wife died. And then he got married to this lady and had
And
2 more
twins.
kids.
One of those
and
kids
one of
died.
those kids died. And then his wife left him and married a piece of shit.
Maybe you should rethink yourself.
Maybe you should move to a different tiny town in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Make
no,
as a landscaper
Utah.
there.
So yeah, as we mentioned, Christian Slater plays Nick, is Fred Savage's older brother. Funny little thing. There's a movie called Tucker, A Man in His Dream. It's about this guy who tried to make a car. It's a biopic, and it's about this guy who tried to make a line of cars that was like a rival to Ford and stuff. And it was like a more affordable for the
How'd it go?
everyman. It didn't go well. It's a cool movie. I watched it in auto class in high school because that's
nice.
what you do in auto class. But it stars Jeff Bridges and Christian Slater plays his son.
Oh.
And it was like the year before this.
The
I love that.
Bridges. Has Christian Slater and Lloyd Bridges ever been on camera together?
I don't know. That'd be fun.
That'd be
Oh,
great.
but we do say welcome back to Beau Bridges.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
He played
He played the dad on Sidekicks.
Barry's dad in Sidekicks,
Oh, Barry Wary.
which also featured a member of Wonder Years,
Yeah.
Winnie Cooper.
Yep.
And this one, he's Fred Savage's dad. Fred Savage plays Corey. Doesn't matter because we're not going to say Corey.
Fred Savage is a little man in this movie. Even
He
at
really
this
is.
breakfast nook they're sitting at, he's like, "Hey, Dad," and his hand gestures are very adult, and he's like, "Why can't we just do like it's haunting how adult he is at this age."
He is by far the best child actor we've seen this month,
Yes.
or really in general.
Not even a question.
But I don't know what year Wonder Years started. I don't remember now. It was
I want to say before
84?
this.
mid '80s.
Yeah.
and this is '89. So I mean,
Oh,
he had,
before this.
yeah. So he had at least 100 episodes under his belt. So he's been acting. He's
got
I
some
never
chops.
thought he was that good.
Before
but
or
I don't
after?
remember. Because I guess I was just like, oh, he's a shitbird. Who cares?
When you hold the candle though up to other shitbirds, he's amazing.
Oh yeah, way better. And actually, this Luke Edwards kid that plays Jimmy is pretty good. I mean, he doesn't have to say much.
Quiet
But it's
Sheldon.
all in his face,
But
and
yeah.
that's a lot.
There's at least one scene I noticed where the actor mouths something and they don't have audio for it. So I wonder if they're like, well, let's have him talk even less. Like a little mistake. Like it would have been like, okay, bye. And like, no, he wouldn't say that.
Because he doesn't say anything really except for California,
California.
until almost the end of the
California.
movie.
And he's a cute kid. Maybe because he's not talking, I enjoy him.
Kid should be
Seen,
neither,
not heard.
neither seen nor heard.
Yeah, in my life, it's neither seen nor heard.
So they want to put Jimmy in a home, and we find out it's his half brother, and he's upset about it. And he tells his dad, he's like, all you care about is yourself, and he storms out.
He tries to cook a casserole in a giant bowl.
Dude, that casserole.
The items he was putting back: hot dogs and tuna,
Double
Sound like
protein.
they belong.
mayonnaise.
What's a casserole?
He doesn't make casseroles with mayonnaise.
No,
Goddamn
but white
right I
people
don't.
do.
Tuna melts.
Jack's a white person, but you know what I mean.
Barely.
Hot
And, like,
people, like those kind
cheeses.
of.
White people. Church going white people. Raisins in your potato salad,
Just-
white people. Fuck those people.
Nuts
Yeah,
in
no,
your
the
potato
ingredient
salad.
list, I'm already gagging, Whitney. You can
Yeah.
you can stop it there before I throw up.
I watched the trailer to Bachelor Party the other night.
Yeah.
And he does the whole, I made potato salad, and it's just like 3 huge potatoes on some lettuce.
I like that.
Right?
That's Irish potato salad, baby.
So Christian Slater and Beau Bridges are having a big argument because apparently Christian Slater's been stealing his car and getting drunk.
Trunk.
What the fuck else are you gonna do in this town?
Yeah, how old is Christian supposed to be? Is he?
I think I want to say he's probably like just out of high school. 18, not
17,
sure if he wants
yeah.
to go to college. 17,
Yeah.
not sure if he wants
Okay.
to go to
He-
college.
He can
might still
drive,
be in
steal
high
the
school.
truck.
He's
Dad won't
taking
press
the summer
charges.
He might still be in high school. He might be like 17 or something. Who knows? Because none of these kids are in
Well,
school.
how's he going
so
out drinking?
Presumably, well, he's not going out drinking. I think he's driving out with his friends and they're
Gotcha.
drinking. Like,
Little desert party. We all know.
Hell yeah, we know how
We
Utah
know.
works.
Into Valencia.
so Fred Savage is like, I'm gonna run away, and he's throwing darts at this map, and he's like, South Dakota, fuck that. Arkansas, no, thank you. Nebraska, that's basically wherever I live, which is Utah, right?
Yeah.
And then he lands on California, and he's like, hey, that's a good idea.
Ooh, California.
That works out well because that's where Jimmy wants to go.
He doesn't
You
know
always
that yet.
talk about.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Does he know that Jimmy's only been saying California?
Well, he said he saw him just the other day.
Oh,
just
okay. So
yesterday or
maybe he
something
does
like
know
that.
at this point. Because if we, the audience, are only seeing this kid say that, Fred Savage has definitely heard him say California.
California.
California. You're saying it very much like him. That's creepy. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Yes.
California.
Mission accomplished.
So Fred Savage breaks into this home with his skateboard and a backpack, and no one sees him.
Shows how easy it is to sneak
Yeah.
into an institution. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
back in the
thinking that.
80s? Hell yeah.
They didn't give a
They
shit.
wanted you to break people out.
No, they're still getting the check for him. I mean,
There was a kid in a wheelchair, like watching TV, and he's just slapping the arm of his chair, like getting mad at the TV. I was like, well, that kid doesn't like whatever he's seeing.
I've been
He's
there.
like, they took the remote, and I have to watch this shit.
And
Left
then
it on
there's
goddamn Sesame
the
Street.
next kid is drooling.
Yeah.
That one was
And
sad.
he gets him, and they go out and they sneak into a Hostess truck.
You like
which isn't
chocolate?
Yeah.
Dude, Fred Savage is like a young version of Have a Seat because he lures this kid into the van with the promises of chocolate.
Hey kid, you want some chocolate? Get in
want
my
some-
van.
It's a chocolate.
do you
Well,
like back rubs?
Savage is what, 13, and
no.
and Jimmy is 9.
You're probably
wanna
going to
say
be closer
9.
than I would be with a guess, but yeah, it's about right.
I
I
would
don't
say
know.
he said because they.
It's
say it
really hard to
later.
tell
Fred
with Fred
Savage is
Savage.
somewhere between 13 and 19.
Dude, Fred Savage is somewhere between 40 and 12, like any given time in his career.
We also meet. It was earlier, but we kind of see him more here. It doesn't really matter.
No, it doesn't.
Oh,
Did we do a summary?
No.
No, I
You
thought
said you
about
have a
that.
3-word summary or something, a 3-second summary.
Movie about a special kid who plays video games.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
They
That's
run.
the
They
tagline.
run
It
away.
got me to watch the movie when I was little. Hey, I want to do that.
Yeah.
They run away. They fight some shitbirds, and they get some video game stuff. The
Well, there's
end.
this whole grifting, thing that doesn't
Yeah.
really come to too
Yeah.
They're
much, but
kind
it's
of
how they.
hustling their way across. the
Streetwise Haley who gets
it's
conned.
their way of eating and moving along this country.
But this guy that we meet, Putnam, played by a guy named Will Seltzer. Again, not really much that
Fuck
I
this guy.
recognize.
Yeah, fuck this guy for sure. And also,
This guy's job is child hunter.
we could have gotten somebody else. for
Runaway
this, right?
children, though.
I was
Almost
You wouldn't have
anybody
hated
else.
You know who
him
would
as
have been
much, though, I
awesome?
think.
Richard Dreyfuss.
yeah,
And
Lance Henriksen.
oh, holy shit.
That is a terrifying child
Dude,
hunter.
If Lance Henriksen is actually hunting these children, I fear for them.
Yeah.
This guy, I'm like, I'm a little worried you're going to get caught. I'm a little bit worried about what happens after you get caught with Lance. And he's just going to give that.
I don't know why, but before they showed Putnam, or they mentioned him, and he was in that first meeting, but they didn't say who he was, and there was like 8 people in the room.
Yeah.
So before they showed, in my head, I just saw like a Lance Henriksen or James Woods. Like I don't know, and it turned out to be much creepier but less terrifying.
Oh, yeah. I would have loved if this was Lance Henriksen, though. We're talking about a whole different movie now.
Lance Henriksen from Stone Cold with
That's
the hair
probably
and
why
stuff.
they
These
didn't.
kids are running for their lives now. I'm thinking
That's why they
Lance-
didn't do that way because it
Oh.
didn't have to be PG-13.
I know, but I wish it. You know what? Bump it up one. We're not talking R. No, but I was thinking of Lance and Hard Target.
Yeah.
Just like hunting people.
Hunting homeless people.
Hunting
so
homeless children.
These are homeless children now. So
Or aliens.
They'd be like, hey, Lance, have a
Yeah.
seat. Like, fuck
Because
no.
guess who finally kind of watched it?
Ow! Oh, wait, what?
I had it on at work, so I didn't have volume.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
You haven't watched Aliens.
Oh, jeez.
all right, pause the podcast. All right, we're back. How was that movie?
Fantastic.
Hated it.
Hard not pass. Wait, what?
Beau Bridge,
Hard not pass is my new recommendation.
Beau Bridges and Christian Slater decide they're gonna go try to find him before Putnam does, and Putnam. I make my money bringing in kids.
Have a
Yes.
seat.
Runaway kids.
Have a fucking bench.
Like, how
dude.
is it? I understand.
Have a
like,
cell.
Have a cell. I understand being like, I'm good at finding people.
Yeah.
I track people.
But he's a bounty hunter that specifically looks for children.
How much of a market is there?
I don't
Say,
know.
I don't know, it was
compared
the
to him
80s.
searching
This
for
guy's making
dangerous
a lot of
criminals,
money.
I'm pretty sure he took the logical.
Yeah, I mean, children are almost less dangerous than dangerous criminals.
I mean,
Kids
you
were
see
running
this.
away like crazy in the 80s.
You see this bolo tie. He's doing good. He's making money.
He's got that Texas oil money.
That's what a bolo tie means. It means
Hell,
I
yeah.
am wealthy.
In Utah? You betcha.
You know how many children I had to grab to get this puppy?
I got this on my first grab. That's why it's got a baby fist on it.
Kind of does look like a baby
It's
fist.
a baby boot.
But it's not. It's just an actual. It's a kid's boot that he took and he dipped in like copper and then
I
made it into.
expected this guy to have a necklace made of
Bronzed.
fingernails because, it's kids, so he can't cut their ears off.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Nail will grow back.
So these gross little shitbirds get out of the back of this chocolate truck, this Hostess truck, with food all over their faces, and it's that shtick that you always see where the kids have shit on their face, and
Zoe did that forever. I'm like,
so
wipe
gross.
your fucking
Sorry,
face
that's
I
off.
still
shit.
do it. I'm a maniac.
and then Fred Savage looks at Jimmy and he's like, "You eat like an animal or something." I'm like, "You got shit all over your face too,
Yeah.
you little fuck."
Calm down. He doesn't know what he's doing.
You do.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
He just
you
sat
do.
in
You know
silence
better.
and downed Hostess cupcakes.
I will say, when we first saw Fred Savage with the skateboard, I told Whitney, I was like, he better use that fucking skateboard. I don't need another
Same
pain
thought.
and gain situation
Yep.
here.
I mean, I know we talk about like Chekhov's gun a lot, but there is a skateboard equivalent of if you introduce a skateboard in the first act, somebody has to get on it by the end.
It's supposed to be in the third act. They get on it right now, still the first act. But it's fun. They're like riding on the skateboard because they get out of the truck at some random place. Fred Savage is looking at a map. I'm like, it's a road that goes two directions. You came from one.
Also, you were in the back of a truck and didn't see anywhere you were going.
Yeah.
No
That
way.
bothers me.
You have no clue where you are, Freddie.
No.
That
Zero.
bothers me in a lot of movies. It happens later in this movie again. Christian
does.
Slater is sleeping and
Wakes
Beau
him up
Bridges
and
is
says, "Where
driving."
are we?
Yeah, and Christian Slater just looks at the map. He's like, "Oh, we're on the wrong road or whatever." And he's like, "How would you possibly know that?"
I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm in your car and you wake me up and you say, "Where are we?" there's a real good chance I'm not going to give you the right answer. I've been sleeping.
There's a real good
sir.
chance I'm also going to get angry.
Yeah.
We're
yeah.
in Oz.
Where are we? We're about looks like a couple miles away from you getting punched in the mouth. If you just round this corner, you get popped one.
So they jump on the skateboard and they're going down this highway, which is insanely dangerous. And this stunt, I don't know if these were like little people.
You say stunt?
This was a stunt.
I think it's them.
I hope it was, but I don't know if it's little
Not with
people
the
or if
semi
it's like
driving by
kids stuntmen. But yeah, this semi passes them
He honks
on the
first.
freeway. But that is insane.
That's a freeway.
Let's start right
Highway.
here. This is the very beginning of no adulting in this movie.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Like-
it's the 80s.
I don't give a shit, dude. If you are this trucker, you have to get on the CB and be like, can somebody contact some like local law enforcement? There's
Oh,
some children's
This
just
entire
skateboarding down the
movie is filled with
highway.
adults that are just like, huh.
That's what I'm
kids.
saying. This is like this is a start of it, and it's a minor version of it. It's getting worse.
Well,
It
this
is.
bus stop that they go to right here, like they're like, hey, Fred Savage is like, I need to buy 2 tickets to California.
Did
Like,
they stop in Goblin Valley before this?
Yeah,
they
he
did.
mentions that they're in Goblin Valley
Why
because he
can't
can
it be
read a map
called something
too.
cool?
Wonderful Valley.
And then, but what's he even say?
What's
It's
the
like,
other one?
Axe Murderer Valley.
Pleasure Valley.
Yeah, you don't want to go to Pleasure Valley at that age.
Then nobody can have a seat because it's your fault.
Yeah, you started this.
Have a seat.
But when they go to this bus station, the guy tells them, like, "Hey, we need 2 tickets to California. All right, $226. No, do you have an ID? No, do you have are your parents here? No,
Yeah.
like, is there a parental permission slip of some sort?" But also, already sitting in this bus station is this girl Haley, played by a girl named Jenny Lewis, who already has a ticket for a bus. This bus guy is just
Doesn't
like, what the
give
fuck
a
ever.
shit.
You said it
Get
was
out
the
of my
80s,
town.
right?
He wants these shitbirds out of his station. But even when Fred Savage starts like fighting with this girl, and they kind of start
He just,
tussling,
like-
this guy's looking like, oh, who's gonna win?
Yeah.
Huh? You should be stopping this fight.
Wish this was a
Just
betting crowd.
turns into Rambo 3 with the stick fight. He just starts pulling out money and cheering.
The regulars come out like, yeah, yeah.
So Jimmy plays Double Dragon, presumably for the first time. Apparently, he's never played a video game or something. I guess Fred Savage
No,
has a
I was
Nintendo,
about to say, they
but
had
they
to
act
play it
like
or
he's
something.
never really played a video game before because he plays
I
Double
feel like
Dragon.
there's.
And
I
does
say
really
this a lot of
well.
episodes. There's some deleted scenes because this video game thing doesn't come to like it doesn't start anywhere except right now.
Yeah.
And I think we need set up because later Christian Slater is like, oh yeah, you bought him this and it broke and I fixed it, but there's no precedent set until now that video games have been in Fred's life.
Yeah, and I hate okay, I understand because this movie's about going to a tournament, so they have to have some way to track it, so they do points. But he's like, you got 50,000 points on Double Dragon?
I thought the
what
same
does that
thing.
even mean?
Isn't that about,
Yeah,
isn't Double Dragon just about getting further?
Yeah,
That's what it
all
is.
games are.
They
But
were-
they did
Oh, okay.
have those Nintendo games did always have point counters. I always
Sure.
wondered on like Super Mario 3, which is in this movie, why is there a point counter? What are these points for? Maybe
Yeah.
that's what all they're for is tournaments.
If I was going to challenge you guys right now to a Super Mario Brothers 3 tournament, first of all, you get your asses kicked. Second of
wish.
all, it
We
would
have
be
the
about
Switch.
it
Let's
would be
fucking
about
play.
who gets further faster, right? It would have nothing to do with the score.
Yeah.
As far as our rules would be.
Look, you get this many lives, how far do you get the
Yep.
end?
Oh, you beat it before I did, you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still back at World 3. You warp whistled over to 8-4. You're on the
Exactly.
castle. On that flying ship.
But your princess is in another castle.
Damn it.
Not when you're not once you're in World 8. You're
I
fine
knew
then.
it.
I want to point out they were playing the NES version of Double Dragon, the single
On an
player
arcade,
bullshit
though.
on an arcade because the
Yeah.
arcade one was 2 players.
Well, all
you
of-
had Billy and Jimmy.
All this footage
Double
is Nintendo
Dragon.
footage because it is a giant Nintendo
Yeah,
commercial. So
I got that.
Yeah,
but
it is.
It
and
annoyed
it's
me.
clearly pre-recorded footage because when this fucking douchebag kid uses the power glove later and he's like steering, he like jerks hard to the right and the car just keeps going straight. And I'm
Also,
like,
I don't
Yeah.
think that would be an advantage in a racing game.
no, and I also don't think that's
don't-
how the power glove worked. I don't know because I never had one. And I
nope.
hear they didn't work, but I
I
don't
had
think if
one.
it did,
You
you
know.
couldn't steer cars by using your hand.
I think you were supposed to be able to do that.
Wouldn't your arm
I
get
don't
tired
know.
though? Wouldn't you rather sit
Yes.
your fucking little
Can you
kid
hold your arm out
shitbird
like
ass
this?
down? No.
when I'm driving.
But you
but
have
if
it on something.
When I have a steering wheel to put my hand.
Exactly. Like, my hands right
Sure.
there.
My biology teacher was like, hold a pencil out. Just hold it out and see how long you can hold it before your arm just wants to not
It's like a
hold it anymore.
Steinhold, but just with a pencil.
Yeah.
Steinhold,
Steinhold.
Nintendo style. Yeah, no, I'm watching this. I'm like, man, that's a lot of work playing video games. You don't know why I don't play video games? To work.
A few people have mentioned that Jimmy is like slow or special or whatever, but she's got kind of a cruel one here because he's not saying anything, and she's like, "What's wrong with him?" And Fred Savage is like, he's just shy," and she's like, "Yeah, shy a few bricks, maybe."
Shy if you're- yeah, like I said, there's no slur words, but you pointed out there are jibes.
Yes,
You know,
definitely.
they-
Which
Yeah.
I mean,
They
they didn't really
tiptoe
understand.
around.
I don't think they really even knew what autism was. I mean, somebody did,
But
but like, the
89,
general
you're
public-
expecting a minimum one hard R.
Yeah.
Even from his brother, as we've seen, in even Three Ninjas, you're allowed to call your brother hard R.
Yeah,
Only if they're not.
Well, yeah, but at 89, I think you could just call anyone that.
I mean, I did a lot.
I don't think there was a better term in 89 that we were aware of. I mean, now everyone was just like, oh, yeah, mentally handicapped, challenged. There's 1,000 words you can say that aren't what we used to say, but
Yeah.
that's what it was.
I mean, it was actually PC to say that.
I mean, there was
well,
a point
PC
in time.
didn't exist.
Well, there was
We
a
had to
point
wait
in
for them
time
to-
where that
90s.
was the correct word, though.
We had to wait for them to make politically correct university, PCU.
It was-
That's
Yeah,
what taught
PCU
us.
is where they invented that.
That's
I-
the first
that's
ever.
what I
Jeremy
said, and then
Piven. Jeremy Piven established what political correctness is.
It was.
Jeremy Piven did it. Sorry. It's just funny to think about Jeremy Piven being the guy that started politically correct.
That's right. He did.
Politically incorrect with Jeremy Piven. So we have Haley versus Jimmy on Double Dragon because they want to get her bus ticket from her so they can get more money. Because like $23 will get them to another town in Utah.
It wouldn't. It wouldn't even get him to the
Well, they
next
only-
town.
$32.
Oh, no, because he said he had 27.
Yeah, he had like,
yeah.
and the guy's like, yeah, whatever it is, it's this much just to get to fucking shit twat Utah.
But it's set. I've vacation there in the summer. Very
Her
stinky.
ticket was going to what, Reno?
Yes.
yeah, she was trying to get back to Reno, which is apparently where she's from.
Because
but her
her
dad
dad's
is
a
a trucker.
Did we
so
do-
she just runs around doing whatever she wants while
So
he's
we're
not there.
to believe though. She poses to us. The dad dropped her off at this bus station, got her a ticket, and was like, "Go home early. I'm gonna keep on trucking."
Oh,
Yeah,
is that what it was?
that's
she
what happened.
she
Okay.
said something about like my dad sent me home early. Just good
Okay.
parenting, really.
He's like, look, you don't need to be on this next stretch of highway with me. There's a lot of lot lizards in these next few
What we're gonna
stops,
do
and-
next is dangerous. You should probably go back to Reno on your own.
Look,
8-year-old girl.
I know on this next route up here is there's this guy named Hawk. He drives a truck. He's not. By the way,
there is a truck.
it is
It's
the truck.
It's the truck, and he even says it's the wrong name, but he says Pete is going to be upset when he finds out I stole his rig. And I looked, and the door says Hawk.
It's the exact. I pulled up the picture and showed it to her. This is the truck.
So for people that don't know, this is Hawk and Son. fucking Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, where he's an arm wrestling truck driver.
Yes.
And these truck drivers, by the way, look like they are competing on the circuit.
I think they're in it.
Especially a guy named Spanky.
Aw,
Who,
Spanky.
Spanky, by the way,
Also
is
familiar.
in Last Action Hero, which will be in a future back to school special.
Yeah, we've been talking
I
about
love
that.
movie, but he plays the stereotypical police chief for in the Jack Slater movie.
He
so he's the
also-
one who's always screaming at Arnold Schwarzenegger and like having a stroke.
He reprises that role in Loaded Weapon,
Oh, I was gonna say Naked Gun. Yes,
the spoof of basically Naked
Yeah.
Gun with Emilio Estevez and Samuel Jackson. Delightful, by the way. Tim Curry is a villain. Sign me up twice.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I
he
need
plays that same just like I'm gonna have a stroke yelling at you,
Yeah.
police chief, and it's awesome.
So they go to this diner. 'Cause they have their little scuffle where they're trying to take the ticket and get money, and I think it gets ripped or
The bus
I don't-
driver's betting
Oh, the
on
bus
him.
already left. The
Yeah.
bus leaves, and she's like, "Great, thanks. Now I'm fucking stuck here, dickbird." And she goes over to this diner.
I think she does say Dick Bird.
They all go to this diner and use the little bit of money they have to buy food because they don't need to get anywhere. This diner is awesome.
I want
There
this
is
diner.
a Ninja Gaiden arcade game
In the table.
table of the diner.
In this
not,
booth.
Not one of those little sit at cool little arcade things where you sit on a stool.
This is not a Pac-Man
No.
stand-up table. This is a dining table
Yeah.
with Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
It
Did I
is
want to grow up in Utah? Is that what I'm hearing? Here?
Apparently.
This is propaganda, Patrick, and you fell for it. Utah is not that cool.
This is Mormon
I
propaganda.
had
Once
that
you get
feeling.
there-
Like
once
I
you
believe
get
movie
there-
magic came into play in this.
Once you get there, you can't leave.
Yeah. You're in the Mormon
They'll
church
make you
now,
have
buddy.
a seat if you don't sleep with underage
Hello?
people.
You're a Mormon now.
More man than human.
So she tells him about the tournament, the video Armageddon. $50,000. By the way, she picks up this magazine off the rack and just tears like a page out of the middle.
You
'cause
bitch.
This is a spread thing. I'm assuming the page must be like a thing you can fill out and mail
Yeah,
in.
Well,
I think that's what that was.
Okay.
But like, because it's a spread and there's
It's
a
a
page in the
cologne
middle.
sample.
So, but either way, she fucking just rips this magazine and she's like, "Look this," and then just puts it back on the shelf. Like,
No, didn't she throw it onto the table while Jimmy was still
I
fucking
know, and
playing
he's
Ninja
still
Gaiden?
playing the fucking game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can he see what
It's
he's
back
doing?
to the
Exactly.
future, too.
because he's a wizard.
Or no, it's Back to the Future woman. Marty McFly goes to the diner and looks up his dad in the phone book and rips the page out of the phone book.
I hate
and
that.
puts it you rude motherfucker.
What
know
if
what?
I
I
don't
needed
think I've
somebody
ever-
under Pasquale?
Yeah. Well, McFly.
McFly.
Okay. Murray.
Where the fuck you get Pasquale
Murray.
from?
What if I was trying to reach
Pedro?
the McBrides? Now
There
I
we go.
can't.
I wanted to find Marty McBride,
Yeah.
not Marty McFly.
I wanted to find Marty McPride.
That town probably had a lot of names that started with Mick. Is all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
It looks like an Irish town.
I want to say I saw Mick Cumber,
Mick Cumberbatch,
MC.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Cumberbatch.
'Cause I kept thinking it was MC Cucumber, and I was like, that can't be right.
MC.
No.
They call me MC Cucumber.
I think that is right.
Because I'm
Because
cool
I'm
as.
And I can go in your ass. What?
Wow.
Just saying, dude. If you're
Have a seat right
lonely
here.
enough, it's all a sex toy.
This is my pleasure room. That's a refrigerator.
Yep.
All sorts of pleasure, baby.
It
where
feels
I-
good when it's colder.
That's where I come to chill out.
You ever used a cold tampon on a summer day?
Turned into Mr. Freeze's sex dungeon.
Oh, nice to see you. So Putnam is looking for the kids at the diner, and they've just left. And you see the table in the back where they were sitting, so they just left. 'Cause
Uh-huh.
the food's still on the table, or the detritus at least. And when he goes outside, he sees that Beau Bridges and Christian Slater have showed up. He recognizes their truck.
Before you get there, this is the start of him being an asshole to everybody he talks to.
God.
Oh yeah,
He walks to the waitress, and instead of like, hey, miss, or they like, hey, sweetheart. You seen these? Like, he just instantly goes right to
I'm looking for
sweetheart.
these children.
Later, he walks into somebody else, goes, hey, pops. Like, why don't you start with
sweetheart,
the, excuse me,
I'm looking for
sir."
2 kids who look like this. They don't have to be exact. I just need kids that look like this.
Oh, you have like the same height but different hair color? That'll do for me.
I can get through that.
So yeah, he goes over and he just sidewall pops these tires like a fucking douche.
The second one scares him.
Yeah, it
Like,
does.
as an actor, because he puts the knife in and he
he has
uses
that-
his second hand, not hold the knife yet, to like hammer it in. And the second one, he's like, ooh,
Like-
oh, scared me.
Did his own stunts, man.
100% off his own
Can't
stuff.
be the famous.
Anytime there was a kid touch, he did that stunt.
Yeah, he did.
Beau Bridges comes out and sees him, and he grabs a shovel out of his. He's a landscaper.
Yeah.
He grabs a shovel
Which
out of
isn't
his truck.
said. You figured out from the hat.
Yeah, and speaking of Jeff Bridges, he goes fucking straight. Walter Sobchak.
Do you see what happens when you slash a tire in the ass?
You see what happens, Larry?
See what happens, Putnam.
See what happens when you hunt a child in Utah?
John
Why-
Goodman watched this for research.
My thing is, why didn't he go for the windshield?
I thought
Why
the same thing.
just the
So
headlights?
he goes both headlights. He goes back to the brake lights, and even when this guy drives away, he grabs this thing like a
I
javelin.
wanted it
Oh
to
man,
go
I
through
was
so
thought it was
bad.
gonna go through the back
You.
window.
I was like, please have this sticking out of the back window.
There was a thing. He did do
But
something
no.
actually useful because he hit the radiator too, and the guy even yells. Putnam is like, "It's hot out here."
Yeah,
Because they're in the middle of the fucking desert, and it's clearly summer. Because again, none of these kids are in school.
Yeah.
So.
it's
Like-
got to be. Otherwise, you're just bad parents.
But I mean, his radiator gets smashed, and he still drives all the way to
80s.
California. So.
Yeah. Well, I kept peeing in it. Haven't you seen
Red Dawn.
what's the
Gross.
Wolverines?
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn, yeah, Red Dawn. Thank you, Patrick Swayze. They're all pissing in the radiator. It works. If Patrick Swayze says it, it works.
Exactly. So you can
Come
definitely
here, watch.
tear out a man's throat.
I was gonna
in
say,
one
come here, rip my
fell
throat out
swoop.
real quick.
Yeah, just go.
Do me a favor, rip my throat out real quick.
Or you pat that little kid's butt at the school for your.
Donnie Darko, child pedophile or child sex dungeon that
Yeah.
he has there, or pedophile.
We just
porn.
don't believe it. That lady was
know
in
what I'm
that
talking
too,
about.
wasn't she?
Yeah. Oh, I'm
The
still
lady
saying
who
yikes.
played the lady who's coming up, or it was the lady at this diner.
In the diner.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's Sparkle Motion, or the next diner. It's
Nice.
Sparkle Motion. It's the mom
Yeah.
from Johnny Darko.
Oh,
not
the
his
one
mom,
that
but
scares away the bullies.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
yeah,
know
that's
her
the next
from
diner, but-
Speed. She's one of the bus ladies.
Yes, she is.
And she's in The Office as Dwight's babysitter.
I know her from something else.
I want to say she's in The People Under the Stairs as well.
Yeah.
She's a working. I mean,
think
she's a
she
working
is.
ass actress. You know,
but it's one of those people, kind of like that chick we were talking about earlier from Secret Invasion, where I'm like, oh, she's the one who plays the like slutty cop in Hot Fuzz. She's been in 1,000 things. I'm gonna think of that one random thing.
Yeah.
And for me, I see this lady and I'm like, Sparkle Motion.
I just rewatched Speed. Is how I know she's one of the
Okay.
ones on the bus. She's the one that tries to get off, and Dennis Hopper's like, "I see you," and blows it, and she dies.
Oh,
Yep.
she is.
She
She
is.
gets
gets like
on the
kinda
little
run
lead,
over, and
yeah.
oh yeah.
Spoiler alert.
And she changed Dwight's diapers, so you deserve to die.
And they occasionally have sex.
Yeah, not wrong.
So speaking of occasionally having sex, these kids are hitchhiking with some
Dynamite
truckers.
segue.
Oh my.
And they're in the
goodness.
back of this truck. Well, I don't think these are truckers. These are just
They look
farmers.
farmers.
she's
They have
farmers.
cows.
She says they're truckers.
Yeah,
but
and
there's,
she says there's a trucker
code.
code.
yeah, truckers have a code, which, by the way, that code is a lap dance is always better when the strippers cry.
Crying. Yes.
So you might want to watch. What is it? You're talking something about polishing the meat whistle while going 80 down a highway looking at a missing child or whatever. On
This
the
trucker code is steal money from children.
Yeah.
They see these kids counting.
Missing
They're like
children have never been
$11,
so
and they
sexy.
just
I
like.
think the total was 80 something.
Yeah, it looked like
because
it was almost
his-
Oh, because they
100.
did already hustle once, right?
Yeah.
Well, and
Oh,
they
there was
cashed
the
their-
refund for
yeah,
the
they
ticket.
cashed
So
the check in.
$87 is what they have. I know in the 80s it's more money than it is now, but these truckers act like it is a
It's
retirement
thousands.
fund.
Yeah,
like,
They are ready to beat up children to
oh
steal.
yeah,
a
they'll
couple
feed their
of
remains
bucks.
to these cows. They're not pigs, but it'll work.
Will it?
I'll make it work.
That was a pretty disturbing part.
Oh, you know, speaking of disturbing, this little girl, when they're in the back of the truck and she's talking about how her mom used to be a showgirl,
Oh.
and she's like, she
had-
had great legs. I kind of have her legs, right? And she like puts her legs out. I'm like,
So, all right,
No.
first, I'm not complaining because she's a child, but if you're going to talk about how nice your legs are, don't be wearing jeans. Like, she's wearing jeans, like, don't my legs look nice? Like, even Fred Savage can't tell.
I think
and he's
yeah,
really
I-
looking.
Yeah, I think the joke is like she doesn't know what that means. She's just
Oh,
heard her dad
gotcha.
say it or something.
She's
Gotcha.
streetwise,
Oh, yeah,
but a
she's
little
just echoing her
naive.
dad, like, oh, man.
Yeah, because everything she does.
My
like,
mom had great gams.
When she also says, you know, oh, you've got to be very adult to live in Reno. Like she's just repeating shit she's heard from other people.
God.
Which is
Gotcha.
what 13-year-old kids say.
Well, and she'll tell you she never gets scared.
Never.
No, never. Sometimes. Oh, so this is where Christian Slater is. They're at this place getting their tires replaced, and Christian Slater just hooks his Nintendo up to their TV.
Yeah.
No
Cool.
problem.
And I thought this was going to come
How do
to
you wait for
something.
your car to get fixed?
Well, I mean, if this was an option,
I'm bringing my Xbox, man. The whole big thing. I got a Wi-Fi router.
You're at the dealership. Your car's getting worked on. People are watching whatever bullshit they have like streaming on the thing, and you just walk in. You're like, anybody watching this?
Nope. We're playing Halo 2, bitch.
All right. Personal story. I went to the country craft store one day when my mom was working, brought my Nintendo in. I played A Boy and His Blob. And it's about feeding a blob jelly beans to make them change different colors.
I know that game.
The TV was black and white. So I couldn't see the color of the jelly beans, so I didn't know what I was
going in blind here.
Fucking pointless. But I brought my system to some business and hooked it up.
You said your mom works there. This dude is like, hey, can you change these two tires? By the way,
but it gives it a little validity, I think.
But this isn't even like you just plug into the HDMI port. You had to have that little box that you put on the back, and then you like screwed it. This is before coax. This was when you had that box with the little tongs, and you had to screw in the fucking thing. So you're in there with a screw. Like, hey, before you change that tire, you got a screwdriver? I'm trying to hook up my Nintendo.
Flathead.
No,
flathead.
Is this the one that had all right, so the Nintendo I remember had definitely what you're talking about with the two prongs, and it had the little forks on each end. But there was also, you could screw into the back of the TV where the antenna went.
That was the coax.
Well, okay, I don't know.
I know both.
I know later on when Beau Bridges
apparently
is playing,
lived a much better life than you guys.
I had the one that you had.
I had the TV that I had to play video games on was like an old ass Mitsubishi that had like rotator dials on it that had VHF and UHF.
Oh
so I definitely had to do the two little prongs.
Yeah.
But later on, when Beau Bridges is taking it from somewhere else, because when Beau Bridges starts playing
the hotel,
games,
I think.
not the hotel, it's the next time he's playing
it's
it.
the scrapyard.
He grabs it and runs away, and I was like, well, you forgot, because the box is hanging off
You
the back
left
of the
it right
TV.
there.
So, but maybe this TV had the antenna thing.
Yeah.
But
either way, he's hooking these shits up real quick wherever he goes.
What you were about to say, at least what I think you're about to say, what doesn't come to anything, is Christian Slater fixes this Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was going to be a thing like, oh, he's a wizard. He's a wizard.
And
he's
the other
also a wizard. It's a family of wizards, Harry.
Yeah, but
Good one. Golf clap.
But like it comes to nothing. Like I thought maybe when the car gets stripped, he helps put it back together.
Which he does, but we don't see it.
Oh,
he just comes out
Okay.
all greasy, and he's like, "I think we got it figured out."
Okay,
but
so
I thought
guess
this
it
would be
kinda
a
comes to
thing.
something, but-
like maybe we're supposed to make our own sequel in our head, where this guy builds
I'm
video
sure
games.
it's cut
the little kid
scenes.
play tests them. Fred Savage writes them.
Well, this
whatever.
movie's 100 minutes, so I'm sure there were things that ended up being trimmed.
Yeah.
And that's like they're like, yeah, that's like the D plot, dude. Just cut it.
Mm-hmm. But we don't have time to watch Christian Slater succeed.
They're not coming to see that.
But we only have the one take of him saying why he's playing the Nintendo, and it's that he fixed it. So we gotta leave that shit in.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Just gotta bring that family connection.
I don't know
closer.
what this note means.
Oh,
so
hit me. I'm really good at this.
$4 ball cash.
No. I do know what it means.
Wait.
Because all right, so they they hustled some people, and as idiots they hustle these older kids.
Okay, I know what it is.
No. Wasn't it before that? After the
it's when
truckers
they're getting ready to do it. When they're getting ready to hustle the salesmen.
farmers.
Yeah, when they're getting ready to do it, he stashes it. But so
he
am I in the
leaves
right
the
place?
$4 in his underwear.
Yeah, no, it's when he has he's about to have Jimmy go play the salesman on the
And he
arcade
fucking
game.
palms $4.
Yeah, and she's
under
like, give me
his
that
chode.
$4 that you kept that the guys didn't steal. And he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I saw you put it in your shorts. And he reaches into his fucking crotch and pulls it out. That's ball cash.
Yeah, $4
Got
ball
it.
cash.
All right.
Dude, I was loving some of the prices. Like, speaking of $4 in ball cash, I wish I had, I probably at this point in my life had enough money in my underwear to eat here. It was like $3 for a breakfast special.
Yeah.
I had $3 ball cash.
Yes,
Dude,
I do.
Well, I mean,
How do you?
Sidekicks, $3.99 lunch buffet at the fucking Frying Dragon.
That's a lunch buffet, too.
So
$4.99 dinner buffet.
or lunch special. I don't know if it was a
Yeah.
buffet. Either way, $3.99. I don't understand what they did to these guys. So yeah, he goes up and he's like, "Hey, my brother could kick your fucking ass."
Oh,
these
these
old dudes are
grown
playing
businessmen playing,
And I love how Fred Savage just sees them in suits or like ties, and he's like, "Oh, they're salesmen. This will work." I'm like, "What?" They could just be any professional position.
She
they
was
work at a
Haley
recycling
was
plant in the
talking about
future.
finding the mark or
Well,
whatever,
yeah,
and
but
then
I mean,
he's like,
he's
"Oh,
like,
I
oh,
can
How
do
do you
it."
know they're a salesman?
Yeah, I
just
know
by-
they're salesmen. I'm like, well, they're just wearing.
They
shirts
could have
and
been
ties.
doctors.
They could have just been coming from a funeral.
Yeah, they could just be. They could be undercover cops. They could be professional pedophiles. You
They
don't
could
know.
be child hunters.
They could be child
Ooh.
hunters. He's got a tie. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a bolo tie, but
A different kind of
That's
child
how they
hunter.
distinct.
I guess it's not a bolo tie, so they know he's not a child
But
hunter.
but Fred Savage comes up and says like, "Oh, pretty good." And the guy's like, "Yeah, I know." And he's like, "Yeah, but my little brother could just destroy you." And he's like, "What? What do you mean?
And then I love how people show like that kid, and everybody's like, that little scrawny piece of shit could beat me in a video game. Bullshit. I'm like, what is this? This is not over the top.
What's also funny,
That kid doesn't need to be able to arm wrestle.
we all know what video game people look like. They don't look like jocks.
No.
They look like Jimmy.
They look like Jimmy.
Quiet
Jimmy
Sheldon.
looks like he could whoop all of our asses in video games, dude. That's
and by they, I mean 3 of the 4 people in this room.
yeah.
I don't look like Jimmy. I look like a lot of Jimmys tied
Did
together.
you just zone out?
No, I mean he could.
I was
beat
doing
all
my
of us.
Jimmy look.
It's a visual medium, so it works really well.
Just think of Forrest Gump thinking. You've got it.
So they hustled the
Jedi.
salesman, but I'm kind of confused because like they had $4, but when they're leaving, they're counting $50 probably.
Deleted scene. They went double or nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, how many? Like you're like, okay, here's 4. They're like, yeah, we'll put down 4. You beat me. Okay, now I've got 8.
Yeah.
Okay, double or nothing. Okay, now I've got 24.
Double or nothing.
Triple or not. Like I don't like how many
Double
times.
0.5 or nothing.
How many times do these guys fall for it? Or unless they just hustle all night.
These
I
are
don't know.
apparently day traders by their suits, and they don't like to lose. They like to have money.
I guess that's fair. They're just like, oh, it's the stock's down. Oh, that's okay. I'll
They
get
could
back in.
have also lied and said $50.
It's the 80s. They were doing a bunch of coke. Like, you're going to let this little fucking kid beat you, man? Yeah, I wouldn't let this little fucking... I beat this little fucking kid. You know what I'm saying?
Got 5 in the
Hey,
kid.
that kid doesn't know you own Nintendo America. This is just
Hubert,
You
motherfucker.
fucking worked there.
This is Mr. Hubert himself.
This is Hubert. Act like it.
Reginald P. Hubert.
You know what Donkey Kong's about, man? Donkey Kong's about King Kong. You're the king, man. Fucking do a bum and beat this little kid's ass.
That would have been funnier in Marky Mark's voice.
Marky Mark wasn't doing coke in the 80s, though.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure he was.
He was like 10 when this movie
Feel
came
the
out, right?
vibrations.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, he had to have been older
because
because
he didn't even know he hated Asian people
Feel the
yet.
Vibrations, the Funky Bunch and shit. That was like 93.
And he was in his 20s.
He was probably like, was he? I was going
When
to say
did
he
he
was probably
start
like 18 or
modeling
19.
underwear, asking for
As a child,
friend?
probably.
Yeah.
He probably started modeling underwear as a child.
Hey,
because
Calvin
it was
Klein,
the 80s.
have a seat.
Yeah, have
Because a
fucking
guy in a
seat.
bolo tie found him.
I don't have my phone. I can't look it up.
He
won't.
was hunted by a
I'm
guy
not
in a
ruining
polo
that
tie and
search history.
forced to model for Calvin Klein. So I like this next scene. They're hiding in some ramshackle place they find, which they do throughout this movie. But he has this mask. Fred Savage gets this Halloween mask, and he's talking about how she's scared. And she's like, this is when she says, I never get scared.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, never? And he puts on the mask that she can see him putting on, and then is like, bruh. I'm like, first of all, that's not how scaring someone works. But then she just fucking socks him right in the face
Good.
and knocks him out cold, which
Good.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
Get
Like,
it, girl.
I thought she would like she hit him and it'd be like a cartoony, like, oh, my face. No, she hits him and he drops. And I think
You will go to sleep or I'll put you to sleep. This is my junkyard.
Yes.
this is my junkyard now, Savage.
We were just walking down the road, and I said, let's sleep here.
Well, my favorite one is later in the movie when they're sleeping at the drive-in movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
And that thing is full of like old film reels and stuff. I told her, I was like,
He was like,
those film reels are just sitting there
Melting.
rotting.
So I'm watching this
No, you
without
said
you
melting.
guys, and I thought Derek would just love to like be a runaway in an old fucking drive-in theater
Dude,
with
you know how
projectors.
awesome-
Why aren't you taking these projectors when you shut this place down?
Yeah.
That's worth a lot of money.
I mean, presumably there's no power, but I would definitely be checking.
I would try, and I'll tell you what. If not, you get a flashlight. I will hold the cells up and go one by one if I have to.
All right, Jimmy, you stand over there and you just crank this thing. We're just gonna do a manual, like we're gonna watch this, but make sure you only crank it 24 frames per second.
Slow down.
Otherwise,
Speed
things
it up.
look weird. So they do hitch a ride with some bikers, which like they're sitting there and these
Yeah.
bikers pull up, and I was like, "Is that Rob Halford?" Like I thought it was gonna be like a Rob Halford cameo.
I don't know, Rob. Give me Rob Halford, please.
Fucking
Don't look at me.
Judas Priest.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fucking
Oh,
right.
yeah.
I see where you get that from. What I thought was going to happen, and I kind of wanted to, was at least the hint of contention, where it was going to be like, oh no, we're going to get fucked up by these bikers. They have the same trucker code. They're going to take all of our money. No, this movie poses to us bikers better than truckers.
Yep.
Because they put
Well,
these little
farmers-
Bikers better than farmers. That's how I saw it too.
Yeah, because the truckers, the actual truckers we see in this movie, are also pretty good guys.
So
Yeah.
it's just these shit ass poser truckers.
Just these
Yes.
fucking farmers who haul around cows for fun.
in the worst cow hauling truck I've ever seen.
It was
And
like
I've
a
seen at least
wood
3.
planked.
But no, these bikers put these kids in helmets.
Yes, they do.
Safety
Very
first.
safe.
Throw them in the back of these, and these heaven's angels just take them down the freeway.
Yes, sir. They're
And
so nice.
yeah, it was a good time.
Why didn't they take them directly though?
Because the movie didn't write that in. Is the only reason.
they're
Otherwise, yeah,
only
take
going
them.
so far.
Oh, wait, did they just not have enough money? We don't talk about an entry fee.
No.
I don't think. Well, we had to meet Lucas.
She probably.
That's the only reason we had to meet Lucas.
And by the way, this montage of like hitching and stuff starts with the truckers. Send me an angel.
I'm too sexy for my
Yes.
Oh,
Send
wrong
me
song.
an angel.
Send me an angel.
So I was
I
just
was
like, what?
Jamming.
At first
out.
it started and I was like, this song doesn't make sense. And by the end of the montage, I'm just like, send me
It doesn't make sense, and I don't give a fuck. Dude, I was texting Derek. I was like, this soundtrack is amazing.
Yes,
It is
I was
so
jamming
fun.
out. I was singing it to him. Like it first started, and I was like, "Send me an angel."
If you don't like this movie and are watching it, just mute when the kids are talking and unmute when the songs are on. Or buy the soundtrack. Is how you would do that,
You
really.
could probably get it on vinyl now.
You would
so they
know.
do have this part
have it
during the
on
montage.
Laserdisc.
They have this part during the montage where they make a cardboard sign that's like
Reno or
Reno
bust.
or bust. And I have to tell a personal story. I'm gonna pull a Patrick here. Whitney and I were driving the other day. Was it when we were in Phoenix or was it down here?
You're the
I
worst
don't
story.
remember.
It doesn't matter. We were driving down the street, and this guy on the side of the road holding a cardboard
It was
sign,
Phoenix.
and it was like the bottom of like a
cans.
flat, so it's got all the circles in it.
Oh, you recognize that?
Yeah, he's holding up the sign, but he's holding the blank side to traffic,
Oh,
and he
that
looks
poor
so disappointed when
fucking-
everybody drives away, and I'm just like, nobody knows your story, pal.
Yeah.
Like,
No, he's showing you. Look at my empty beers.
I told her, I was like, the thing with the sign is he's so broke he can't buy a permanent marker.
Oh, that's sad.
There's
But I
fucking
was just
yellow
like, why
crayon
don't you flip it
on
over?
here.
What's
You
going to
just-
happen? You flip it over, and it's like, killed my children, need money. Like,
If you honk, I'll stab you.
so during the montage, we have Putnam like goes to this. It looks like the Grand Canyon to me, but it's not. I mean, Monument
Yeah.
Valley maybe or something. And there's
That's
these
the
two
one I would
kids
know.
who look just like Fred Savage and Jimmy from the back, and he just fucking grabs this kid and like
he
lifts him up.
manhandles this kid.
Okay, where are these kids' parents or any
Yeah.
parents?
Or any. Yeah, there are adults here.
Yeah.
And like he's like, oh, wrong person. He sets him down, and their brother just like gives him a dirty look, and they just turn back around. No,
Pay
run.
attention. Pay attention to this jacket, by the way. It's making a return. It will come back.
It has come back.
Another thing I took note of was this awesome fucking roadside art. This spider Volkswagen Beetle.
Dude,
Oh,
this
oh,
was
yeah.
dope.
Fucking fantastic.
It was like a Black Widow beetle.
Yeah, they
thingy.
took like the body of the chassis or the body of the VW Beetle and they painted it black and then
The
they just
shell,
put
if you will.
long metal legs and it's standing above another truck.
I mean, it's up 15 feet in the
Yeah.
air. It's up there.
It's dope.
It's a driveway of its own.
It's the car of the future, man.
So when they're riding in this truck right now with this old Native American guy, this is the same truck that dropped them off in the last town.
The farmer one or no?
No, not the farmer truck. Like after that stuff, they got dropped off in a truck at the town. Whatever the town. We might have kind of.
It's
I
the
don't
one
know.
where they're
They-
holding the sign. They get dropped off and then they're holding the
okay.
sign.
They got dropped off at some point because I noticed it was this old pickup truck with like wooden slats on the side, and written on it was U.S. Postal Service, but like written in like handwriting.
Right.
And there was like an old Native American dude in the back, and they got out of this truck, and now they're riding in the same truck, but they were careful not to show the sides.
But it's the same one.
It looks like the exact same truck, and it's got an old
And the
Native
same
American
people.
dude
I
in the back,
looked this
so-
dude up on IMDb. You know what his credit was in this movie?
Old Navajo.
Old Navajo.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, at least they were particular. They didn't
I
just
know,
say
didn't
old
say that.
generic Native
They
American.
didn't say the I word.
Yeah.
But no, it was just funny. I'm like, man, it's just gonna be calling him out like that, huh?
It's
I'm
weird.
typecast like that guy named Hector.
It makes me happy that I'm not in this movie. I don't want to see what they would title me as. Fat self-loathing ginger, number one.
If I
Unqualified asshole number 4.
He could be talking about any of us.
well, he said number 4. So
him.
Yeah, he could be talking
You're
about
number
any of
4
us.
you're
now.
number 4.
Hi,
'Cause
number
you don't
2.
like to spend time with us.
I don't like spending time with us.
It's not like you have
I'm number
a really
3.
hectic, demanding job and
Yeah.
11 kids.
Where I have to wait for hours in the morning and then call them and be like, hey, Do I got to throw on my uniform or can I put on, going out clothes?
11 kids? Did you cut down?
They
lost
come
a
and go.
couple.
It was 8, then 7, then 11. Before that, way before that was 43.
Oh, you cut down a lot.
So they go to another little small town diner, and they go to hustle these like punk teenager
Older kids.
Yeah, and these are the kids that know fucking what's
Lucas.
his name? Lucas.
It's a grave mistake, by the way. They
Yeah.
beat these guys, and Fred Savage has to fucking
Be a dick.
snidely say something like, what's he call him? Pizza face or pepperoni
Cheese
face
brain?
or
I
Yeah.
don't know.
some stupid thing? And he's like, "What are you calling that? You
Wart face.
Wart face, thank you." He's like, "Who you calling wart face, tiny weenie?" And just like, dude, every one of these kids
By the way,
is
both
bigger.
bad insults. Wart face is better than tiny weenie.
Yeah.
Is it?
Call him, I mean, you can call him little dick, but tiny weenie. Come on.
Well, it's PG.
So's your face.
It's very wary.
So's your face. But yeah, no, I just thought, what you beat them. You got their money. Leave. Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
Don't warp face anybody on your way out.
I wonder if these kids are gonna come back.
Yeah. You insulted them. There's no way they're coming back. They're done, right? They're out of this movie.
Everybody
this
else
is
is
the
been out.
diner. This is the diner where we see Beth Grant, by the way, who's Sparkle Motion.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause she's the one who
chases them
tells
off.
the kids to fuck off.
She
Yeah.
calls for somebody. I'll insert name here. She's like, "Rick, it's them again."
It's those punk ass kids again.
those
they have
those
a big enough
video
problem?
game monsters, those graffiti monsters,
Yeah.
those,
Types.
they can go to hell and they can go to hell. And
The graffiti monsters, the Jewish monsters. Calm down, Pam. Calm down.
them and their lasers.
They're space
The
lasers.
space lasers.
Death Star is a real
They
thing,
just forgot
folks.
to call cut. She's just still ranting and raving. Republican monsters, Democrat monsters.
would you say
know
it was
the types.
Edit and post.
Yeah, fix it in post. Did she say Jewish monsters? You know what? We're gonna
I
have
don't
to-
think
we're gonna
she
have to
said
fix that in
Jewish
post.
monsters.
So then they get introduced to Lucas, who they're told has 97 games or
Oh,
something.
he tells you.
Okay, and he knows all of them.
He has
front to
this
back.
like dope little container, by the
Yeah,
way.
they set this case out like it's fucking.
Drug
He's
deal.
the president. These are the nuclear codes.
Yeah. 100%.
I was trying to think of Ving Rhames'
$1 million.
character's name in Pulp
Marcus
Fiction.
Wallace.
Marcus Wallace. Marcellus Wallace.
Marcellus Wallace.
It's
Thank
like
you.
Marcellus Wallace's briefcase. They slide it across this table and it says his name on it, Lucas Shitbird, and he snaps it open and opens it, and it's got the power glove, which was like the big deal of this movie.
Oh,
I
even
thought
before
that's.
that,
I was
though,
about to say before
he
that
opens
was
a-
the games.
Yeah,
he had a
opens
whole bunch of
container
games.
that I guess we would.
That
They
one
were
only
at the
had
diner
the
or
case has
whatever.
the glove in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they go to
They're-
like his house or whatever.
They have
That's what I'm
another
talking
case that they unzip and it's like,
It
look
looks
at my
like
display.
it
of
looks like
games.
what we would put a 6-pack of beer in now and
Yeah.
keep it cold, but it's like I'd say 10 to 12 video
10, yeah.
games like cartridges. It's a dope little thing because his buddy's carrying it. Then comes the football, we'll call it, because it is the nuclear codes. This is a much better case, and yeah, his buddy brings it. He doesn't like have it. He's not in control.
This is his side.
Henchman number
right-hand
one
man,
has
yeah.
this.
He's learned a
shit.
lot of stuff as a kid.
And they open it up. It's the power glove, which was kind of like a big deal for this movie. Like Fred Savage is on the cover wearing the power glove, which he doesn't in this movie.
Is this the introduction to the Power Glove, or
I think
has
it was
consumers?
I want to say
it may
was
have
close.
been out, or it was just out, and so it's a way to advertise it, just like Super Mario Brothers 3.
I was just
Super
about to
Mario
say, I wanna
Brothers
say-
3 came out in the following spring after
Oh,
this
okay.
movie came out. So, but it's definitely a way to try to sell it to people. But it was a stupid piece of shit peripheral
Hey,
for the
it
Nintendo.
worked. I want one now.
I've
and-
seen it in the movies. It must work.
Lucas ends up using it, which I don't think this is possible. But I did notice a little thing. I'm sure nobody else here noticed because I'm the fucking guy who just spends all of his free time watching movies. He puts on the glove and he pushes like a sequence of buttons.
Yeah.
Was it the Contra
It-
extra life?
No, those beeps are definitely the 5-tone sequence from Close Encounters.
There's a third.
Oh, okay, dope.
Okay, I do
can't
remember
how it
from
goes now.
owning a
but
power
as soon as
glove.
it happened, I was like, is he talking to aliens?
How do
Yeah.
you think he got the thing to work?
That's how the only way that the power glove worked, right?
Did you?
Yeah,
not
there
know
was
that-
like you literally had like pages that had like a sequence number you're supposed to put in for the glove for specific games.
Did
Okay.
you not know that Nintendo is alien technology? Is this news to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think Mario was created by humans?
Do you know
No.
Nintendo started as a card company?
Really?
Yeah, they're like a toy company like in the late 1800s in Japan, and they made like playing card.
I
kind of
recently
thing.
had seen a sign. I saw a sign, and it
saw a
opened up my
sign.
eyes. It was a Nintendo sign, but it said from 18 something something, and someone's like, "That's got to be Photoshop." I said, "I doubt it."
No, yeah,
I
they've been
don't-
around since the
Like, yeah.
1800s.
They know what they're doing. They've known how to entertain children for a long time.
That's why.
Have a seat.
Yes.
By the way, he slides this thing on. He's like, I love the power glove. It's so bad.
Dude, it's a fucking advertisement, like right then and there. Cut, print, ship.
This kid, by the way, is probably the worst of all these
He's
kids.
King Shitbird.
Well, as far as acting, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's so bad.
We want you to be a blonde asshole as a kid.
He
and you
puts
pull that off.
nothing on it.
Oh, I'm living the life.
So we all know we hate
It's
child
so
actors.
bad, like my acting.
I feel like finding a child actor to be an asshole bully would be the easiest of shitbird acting.
Right?
Apparently not.
Wouldn't you think?
Especially this kid is probably an asshole bully.
Yeah.
Why
But
wouldn't he-
he's flat performance. It's like day old beer.
Yeah.
There's just nothing on it.
Stale and shitty.
Yep. And slightly alcoholic.
But it gets the job
That's
done
just
in the
his-
long run.
that's just
all
his
the
dad.
child actors in the 80s.
So he uses it to play this racing game, and
Rad Racer.
I just don't know. I never had a power glove, so I didn't know this is how it worked. That you like, he's actually like steering.
I wouldn't want it to work that way. That's a lot of fucking work to play a video
we
game.
talked
Yeah,
Jamie.
we
about
talked
that. Like,
about
you're just
holding your arm out.
out.
No.
Like, I'm gonna play one level and then put it away because I don't want to play anymore.
Who has time for that?
Well,
Do you
so
have
what
a
else do you
VR
use it for?
headset by chance?
I have a VR headset. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Go
I don't
on.
have to hold my arm out in front of
bet
me.
this-
I swing my hands around like a psychopath.
I'm not even going to make the joke I was going to make.
I feel like going to Axe Murderer Valley right now.
So I don't know if
You
Jimmy.
mean old Goblin Valley?
I don't know if Jimmy. You mean Pleasure Valley? Gets like intimidated by the power glove, or if he said he can't use it. 'Cause
No,
he
we
just walks
find out.
here.
We find out what happens.
Do we?
Yeah.
Why did he walk out?
He was jealous because
Oh,
Fred
that-
Savage
but
puts
that's-
his arm over her and
Oh.
says,
That's right.
"Don't you?
Okay.
Don't you?" Because the guy kind of gives a little love
Like
or
he's
interest.
flirting with her.
Yeah, a little flirt. Thank you. And Fred Savage just fucking like toxic
Okay.
masculinity throws his arm
She
over
does
this chick. It's
mention-
like, she's mine.
She mentions that Jimmy's jealous, but I didn't catch that. That's why he walked out here.
It was when he was stacking the popcorn things at the drive-in
Yeah.
movie that
Where
you would
saw
have a wet
no
dream over.
popcorn and there's the perfect looking boxes.
And then he wouldn't look at her. He was just like,
And she figured
Yeah.
out, and she told us, she goes, "No, he's not intimidated."
But I
'cause
didn't make the connection back to this scene. So I
It's
was
because
just-
you're also autistic. So
I'm very artistic. Thank you.
So
In
now
your own
these
way.
bullies come back. I knew you. I don't think you knew they're come back, Derek.
I
But
didn't.
Here come the bullies.
Yeah.
Surprise of Act 2 or 3.
Well, it's when they're sleeping at the drive-in. My favorite, I don't know, homeless haunt.
Sleeping at the drive-in. I haven't heard their new album. Is it any good?
does sound
they're
like
like,
That's a fucking 90s emo band for sure.
I'll listen to some Counting Crows later.
But between here and there, we have a quick scene with Beau Bridges and Christian Slater, which I just want to mention
Oh,
because
at the hotel?
yeah, they're sleeping in the same bed.
Single bed.
Which he does. Christian Slater does mention. He's like, my fucking dad can't even splurge to get the room with 2 beds. But Christian Slater takes a moment to try to connect with his dad. They're having this adventure together.
honestly
and
trying.
he's
He says,
like,
I'm
"Hey."
sorry that Jimmy's missing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I'm here.
Yeah. And by the way, this is a vibrating bed. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah.
else noticed
You
that. It's
see
got the
the-
quarter
the-
slot.
Oh,
quarter slot.
try and stop me from seeing that.
But like he tries to bond with him, and Beau
Magic
Bridges
fingers.
is basically just like, shut up, go to bed. And he like rolls
Because,
over.
you know,
I mean,
you
he's
can't
on.
show
I got to
emotion.
drive early in the morning.
Yeah, it's the whole dad can't show emotions to
Men
the
don't
kid
cry.
thing.
Men don't show feelings.
Oh, yeah, especially 80.
Yeah, well, especially a dad in the 80s.
We have to talk about it. This is the yin and yang, the top and bottom of sharing a bed with an actor.
Top and bottom.
Because you've got fucking Beau Bridges in a dirty tank top and it is civvies, dude, the civvies. And then on the other side, you got Christian Slater. You got to share a bed with these actors. One side is phenomenal. One side is your worst nightmare.
Guess what side I'm on?
I'm betting that you're going to be with Beau Bridges. Oh, I thought wrong.
By the way, they should have been sleeping
Whammy.
head to foot.
Yeah, that way they don't interlock.
Yeah, can't lock in.
Can't lock in, dude.
But
I'll
the
tell you
naughty
right now,
pieces are still right in
as
the
somebody
middle.
that had a father in the 80s and we're sharing a hotel room, one of us is sleeping on the floor. It's not even discussed. One of us
Really?
on the floor, one's in
I
the bed.
guess I never had to deal with it, but I also had both my parents on our road trips.
I know. I always had to share with my sister.
Oh, okay.
I had to share with my brother.
You know what?
but-
Same rule with me and my brother. If we're sharing a bed, one of you's on the floor.
Really?
Oh, yeah. big big homophobes in this family.
I was gonna say we learned something about Jack's family.
We got big homophobe energy.
I guess it was a very Catholic family.
Catholic in the 80s, dude. What are we gonna do about this? I did what I did. I
went
left.
to Gettysburg. There were 2 beds. There's my grandma, and then there's me and my dad.
You were in Gettysburg?
Went to Gettysburg, yeah, once.
Oh, I didn't know you were that old.
No, he was at the battle. Not the speech, though.
Side did
You can't
fight for?
compare me to those heroes who did whatever it was they did.
Which side are heroes, Patrick?
Exactly.
Blue or gray? Blue or gray?
Blue or gray, man?
No
redcoats
comment.
are
North or
coming.
south. I love that game. That's a good game. You can pick either side. You don't get like extra stuff from being the south.
Is it
But
Nintendo?
Shout out to
yeah,
the soldiers.
that is actually.
Both sides.
Well, it fits
Both
into
sides.
the movie then.
Yeah, it does. But they didn't show it.
So he's playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is an awesome game.
Yes.
Christian Slater, that is.
Oh, he
And-
hooks this fucking thing up.
He leaves the
wicked.
damn light on.
Yeah,
too.
he walks out.
Yeah, he
and the
turns
dad's
on the
yelling
light.
at
And
him.
he's like, the Beau Bridge is like, I gotta sleep, and he's like, so sleep, and he turns it on. It's like beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop. I mean,
Dude,
turn the
anybody
fucking
here that's
sound
played
off.
video games? Well, yeah, turn the sound. You don't want a background light.
No,
You want
especially
pitch
on those
black
TVs.
Not on that
glass.
shitty
Yeah.
tube TV.
Yeah, this is a tube TV.
Yeah.
Turn all the lights
lights
out.
behind it are okay. As
Yeah,
long
but
as
Yeah.
this
they're-
light's directly
Sure.
behind Christian Slater. But
Yeah,
so
oh yeah, well,
and
that's-
it cuts to the morning, and he wakes up, and Beau Bridges is playing, and he's super into it.
Dude,
got
his
the
hand-
scroll weapon.
His hand gesture, he is putting this remote through its paces. Like
Yes,
he's
it
just
is.
beating up this thing like it owes him money.
But he is doing like the moving, like you're
where
actually
turn the body with
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Like a parent would do.
Or
Or
a
a
fully grown Jack.
child or a child.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've definitely done
Until
that.
I
Just,
got
like,
to the
turning
Wii
Oh,
remote,
I'd
turning the
have my
remote.
tongue out whichever side of the mouth I need to turn to. Like I gotta wait this down. It's a good visual gag for the audio podcast. You know what I did.
My tongue
heard
does
it.
this thing and that thing. You
Yeah,
don't know where-
he got the scroll weapon, and he almost beat the Mega Turtle or something.
the Mega Mouser.
The Mecha Turtle.
Mecha Turtle. He
know,
said
he says
Mecha
Mecha
Turtle
Turtle.
at the end of level
but then they
whatever.
show it, and he's definitely playing the first level.
Yeah.
I've played
Yeah.
this fucking game.
Oh yeah,
a lot.
Which is a tough fucking game, by the
It
Oh,
way.
I
is.
thought you said he was on level
No,
2.
that's the first level. Later on,
Teenage
they have
Mutant
the
Ninja
underwater
Turtles is
level,
just different
which
sewers.
made me want to kill everybody as
If
a child.
you've played Ninja Turtles, you know the angst we're feeling about this water level.
The original TMNT for the Nintendo.
This
Yeah.
was.
I actually
Switch between the
I actually
characters.
just saw a picture online recently where it was like somebody had done a painting, and it was in this level, and it's like one of the turtles swimming, and there was like the little block thing, like the bomb things, whatever, and it was like, this one is titled Anxiety and something something. I can't remember exactly, and I was just like, yes, it is.
something dark side.
So then we're at
We're
the
going to take
drive-in.
this to level 2. Is that an underwater level? Yes, it is. I fucking hate those.
We're at the drive-in, and Jimmy, they can't find Jimmy because he's not in the room, and they go out, and Fred Savage goes outside, and he's out there stacking popcorn boxes. And fucking Fred Savage is just like, why don't you snap out of it? I told Whitney, I was like, does yelling at autistic kids
Yeah.
help? I
No,
don't think it
this-
helps.
No, it does not.
Autism is a choice.
Do they
to this
react to
guy.
that well?
I don't think he was diagnosed as autistic. Or I don't necessarily believe that they were trying to go the autistic route. I think it was just he was
I think
completely
it was an option.
traumatized.
I think it was an
yeah.
option. I'm gonna echo Derek here when it's a combination of definite trauma.
Yeah.
But also there's something else here.
Well, he is a savant. Yeah.
And sure, it could. We don't know. We don't hang out with the kid. It could be Asperger's. Could be
This-
he's a quiet kid.
I love
How
he's
often
just
as a
shy.
child were you told you were special?
Oh, very often for me.
This is
too, I mean-
Yeah.
basically Rain Man and Karate Kid with video games.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we all want?
yeah, definitely wax on, wax off. Definitely.
Have a seat right here.
Well, that kid wants to wax off with Haley.
Yeah, he does. And you know what? Don't go looking at her. All right. This is my girl.
So
Fred
she yells
Savage.
at him, right?
Talking about
Oh my god!
Fred Savage's girl.
Wait, does Fred Savage die at the end of this movie with bumblebee stings?
Oh.
Oh God, I wish. Just multiple bee stings. Oh man.
Let's go through the worst road trip ever to die by bee stings.
The kid in My Girl 2, which I swear it's supposed to be her cousin and also her first kiss, is also the
Jonathan
kid.
Brandis.
No, it's not Jonathan Brandis.
was.
It's Last Action Hero kid.
Oh, was it Last Action Hero?
Yes.
Same thing.
Nobody cares. It's my girl too.
It's
I
true
watched
too.
it.
It does have the same girl.
Yeah. Well, what
She's
else
someone
is she
else's girl
doing?
now.
Yeah, that's how it happens. City of God. Oh yeah.
So this is where the teens show up, and they roll up in their truck, and they're chasing these kids. And I'm like, okay, they're chasing them in a truck. They're not going to get away. They park and get out and start running. They do end up catching them because the kids just run in circles
Because
like
they're
idiots.
well, also they're mostly adults, so they have long legs.
It was
Yeah,
way
but these-
before
these-
scatter.
Jimmy drops his
Lunch pail.
lunchbox.
Yeah, but when he picks up his stuff, they're literally running in circles. I'm like, run away! This isn't a Benny.
Serpentine.
This isn't a Benny Hill skit.
I
Like,
thought the dust was going to give him cover. You know, he caught most of those girls
Yakety
when he was
sax,
younger,
dude.
right?
Don't talk back.
so they do find out what's in the lunchbox. We didn't mention it, but Jimmy carries this lunchbox everywhere, and
I did
nobody
mention
knows
it at
what's
the
in
beginning.
it. Did you?
But
Okay.
nobody in this
Super
movie
important.
knows what's in it.
Nope, nobody
And
goes
maybe
through
Jimmy
it.
does.
And this is the twist. That's when we find out that he had a sister, Jennifer, who was a twin sister. She died. She drowned like feet away from him, which is fucked up.
Christian Slater was supposed to be watching
Yeah,
her.
and he was
Yeah.
busy drinking. I don't know.
Sure. Stealing
Smoozing.
trucks.
I think
It
he
was the
they-
80s.
I think they said he was making out with some chick, or he was like hanging out with a girl or something.
So they took an
Practicing.
80s movie and mimicked an 80s movie, but took out the axe murder
Stand
part.
by me.
Except in the valley.
It's the late 80s.
It's got like pictures and like a shoe and all this, and you're
A
like, wow,
hair
that's really
tie.
sad.
One of those knuckle knocking hair tie things.
Oh,
You had
yeah,
sisters.
I know.
Yeah.
It's got like it's almost like marbles on a
Yeah,
elastic
little clacker
rope.
things. I know
Oh,
what you're
It's
talking
yeah.
about.
because you're supposed to interlock them.
I can't tell you how many times I've chipped my teeth on one of them.
I was
It's
thinking,
twice.
I was just like, as a kid, I just remember trying to flick them at people.
Ow, did you always get yourself?
Usually,
Yeah. Oh, you hit a knuckle with that?
Yeah.
You're like, God, I deserve this.
it did.
Karma stings.
Chances are I was flicking it at someone who probably didn't deserve it.
That
I have
answers a
tasted
lot
my
for
own
me.
medicine, and it is bitter. Have we even gotten to the part where they like? Do we even know about the tournament yet?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
already
yeah,
went
yeah,
through
it
it.
was
One
about the
mentioned.
One of
tournament.
Lucas's friends said this, or who?
Lucas said he was going also. No, she told Fred Savage at the first diner because she
Oh,
ripped,
okay.
Ripped out the page, threw it
And
in
then
the
Lucas
table.
was like, "I'll meet you there because I'm going also."
Oh, I'm thinking of a part where some Putnam's being an asshole to somebody again. It's probably coming up later,
It is.
but he grabs the kid.
We'll be right there.
Some other little shitbird
Yeah.
narcs him out.
So we kind of forgot where we were going for a second there, guys. We took a break in the middle because Amber made us tacos.
Oh, Amber made us the best tacos right now.
I'm going to tell you right now, dude. I am not a strong enough person to not stop a podcast for tacos.
These
Like,
tacos,
that is real talk.
we could smell her making them, and we're just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Amber. You're amazing.
So the tacos were a little disorienting. I stopped thinking about movies and I started thinking about tacos.
We're all woozy now.
I
You notice how they
should've-
didn't serve tacos in that
Woozy.
movie one time at all?
Yeah, there are no tacos in The Wizard.
You know what? You know what this movie doesn't have, and thank you? Them ordering food and not eating it.
True.
Yeah, they do eat when they get food.
Your boy will have no part of that.
I hate
Did they
that.
ever really order anything?
Yeah, they get food later at the place where he buys like the Groucho Marx glasses.
At one
and shit.
point, Christian Slater.
Yeah, but
and-
do they like show the scene where he's like, "Hey, I want to get 3 tacos"?
Well, no, but
No.
they show
Okay.
them with food.
Well,
It's a
yeah,
very
I mean,
specific-
they
And
have
they
to
give
eat
you
their
You're
children.
gonna assume they ordered it.
That's very
Yeah, but I
specific.
mean-
he just walked by a table and was like, "Shoimp."
Like these days.
There's a part where
how
Christian
you do
Slater
it.
and Beau Bridges walk in and to a diner. We're fast forwarding, but we're not going to bring it up. Christian Slater says, "I will take a cream soda."
Yep.
And fries medium. And I thought he was calling out how he wanted these fries cooked.
No, like sides.
Like when he said it, I was like, damn, have I been ordering fries wrong? Can I get those like medium well?
I don't want my fries medium.
I don't want them rare.
I was somewhere where I was like, "Burn the eggs. Like, take your time with it, man." I'm crispy.
But
And
no,
then
it
they
was
threw
about the
potatoes
soda.
in my
I
breakfast burrito, and I was kind of pissed off. But
California burrito.
California.
thought it was supposed to be authentic.
California.
So Fred Savage is
Burrito.
like, "Fuck it, I quit," and he starts walking away. And Jimmy finally says something besides California, which he's just like, "I don't want to quit."
Oh, yeah, because they're like, I don't know if he was scared by Lucas. Yeah.
Oh, and she does say, Haley is like, "You didn't, well, I wouldn't like you now even if you wanted to,"
Nah.
or something like that. And he's like, "Wait, you wanted me to like you?" And she's
Not
like,
anymore.
"Not anymore."
Uh,
Oh,
And that,
the mind
I've done
games.
that. That was definitely a me move.
I've had that done to me.
I think we all have.
I'm a little obtuse, in case you didn't know that.
What?
No, you're a little a cutie.
This guy
Now you're up to.
Do you want to trade? All right.
right. Wait, me have him and you have nobody?
Yeah. And then I just come over to your guys'
I gotta
house.
be honest.
Look,
it's not
Derek,
bad.
there's some salesmen.
He
So
takes care
Putnam,
of
this is where Putnam shows up at another arcade, and there's this kid playing pinball, and he's like, "Hey," he asks a couple people.
Again, he starts out shitty though.
Yeah.
Super cut.
Goes up to this kid, sets the fucking pictures on the pinball thing, and while the kid's playing, he's like, "Hey, have you seen these kids?" And he's like, "I don't know, fuck you, I'm not talking to you."
Then another
Stranger
douchey
danger.
move.
Yeah.
And then he fucking shakes the pinball machine. and
Cost
tells
him
Tilt.
his life, probably.
Tilt.
dude, fuck that shit.
So here's what you do: you got a little fucking wiener kid playing video games, and you want information. You start with some money.
yeah, you
A
put another
$1
quarter down.
or a $5 bill.
Yeah.
I'm even going above that. A $1 bill, like, hey, I just want to ask you a quick question. You're gonna catch more children with honey than vinegar.
You would think he would know this.
That's what Winnie the Pooh does.
Yeah, no, this guy's an absolute asshole to everybody he meets, and I'm rooting against you for a myriad of reasons.
Here's another reason to root against him. He says, "This kid right here, he's a mental case." But then the kid has a great comeback. He's like, "Hey, does he dress like you?" I don't think so. Well, then he can't be too much of a case.
What if he was pointing at Fred Savage's picture though? He's like, "This kid right here is a fucking mental case." All right.
And then so Beau Bridges and Putnam cross paths again here, and this is awesome. He sees Putnam getting in the car and pulling out of his spot, and Beau Bridges just fucking rams this car. I was just like,
Demolition
man, he's
derby.
like, fuck my truck.
Yeah. I mean, all right. So if you're gonna have to hit anybody with your truck, any guys out there that have a truck and girls that have a vendetta against somebody, use the back.
Yeah.
You can hit more times.
He
Yeah.
does that too, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, but he starts front, he
Yeah.
starts front four.
He
like,
doesn't
The
even have
end
a ram
fucks
guard.
up. The end fucks him up. Like,
Yeah. He
I mean,
fucks up his own truck too. Yeah.
there was a video game. I don't believe it was fucking Nintendo. I want to say it was probably Atari called
then we can't talk
Demolition
about it
Derby.
here.
Man, why?
We're gonna
Fuck.
get-
Why
we're
the
gonna
fuck
get
am I here?
Sponsored by Nintendo.
Yeah, no, Nintendo's listening, man.
Wait.
The
Then they
algorithm
know
is
I'm
gonna-
playing their fucking games. They can fucking just back up.
They've got
But it
my
was
money.
Demolition Derby, and the first thing you learned is you spin that wheel and go in reverse to smash
Yeah.
more cars. Like,
That's the rule.
I
I'm trying
didn't need
bust
to learn
somebody's
that
car
from
up.
watching it. I mean, game taught me.
I think everyone knows that unless you're driving a Volkswagen, engine in front, in the back, trunk space.
Yeah.
For some reason, my brain thought you said Volvo. Like-
Volkswagen. Well,
yeah,
I
you
don't know
said
shit
Volkswagen.
about
He wants to
Volvo.
screw her
I was
somewhere
like, no, that's the
uncomfortably. Well, like the
Volkswagen.
back of a Volkswagen.
So yeah, he backs into the car and smashes it again, and then he's like facing, and Putnam is like driving away, and Putnam reverses, and Beau Bridges goes forward, and they like chicken, but
See, but this is smart. Putnam is an asshole, but he's correct right here.
yeah, but also his car gets smashed, his trunk is open, his bumper's hanging off and dragging behind him. Later on in this movie,
Trunk
he
is
pulls
open.
up. He pulls up in Reno and like parks his car at this casino later on, and I'm
Eight
just
kids
like,
come out of his trunk.
I was like, how did this guy not get pulled over?
How is this vehicle
It's
still
so-
You're
working?
not driving that car down the highway and not getting pulled over.
Oh, it's Reno. They're happy to have you. When the cops
Biggest
pulled him
little
over,
city.
inevitably, he said, "Hey, I'm just going to Reno to find some kids." Like, carry on, sir. Carry
They
on.
look in the trunk. Well, there's none in here, so it's not my problem. There's this guy, by the way, this old dude with a mustache drinking a beer on this porch.
Oh,
well, these
dirty
guys are
awful.
just these guys
He's
are having a
loving
fucking
this.
demolition derby in the middle of the street, and this
Yeah.
dude is just watching back and forth like he's watching a tennis match. No expression. He's just sipping his beer and watching like, what is the damnedest thing?
This is a life goal for me, sir.
Yes.
Fuck,
This
man.
doesn't concern me in the slightest.
Yeah.
Guess what I'm doing?
It's almost like
staying
this-
the fuck out of
Yeah,
it.
it's almost like there was an era where people minded their own fucking business. So the kids finally get to Reno, and Haley says she knows some people who can help them, so she finds Spanky, who's
Spanky.
Frank
Spanky.
McRae, who we mentioned.
We shouldn't have a little kid looking for Spanky. Just saying.
It does.
I need to go in this casino and find Spanky.
Okay.
I want to say Spanky was a little slow also.
Big, dumb, lovable.
Like a
ox.
Lenny. He's a Lenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a license
Yeah?
to gamble.
And she's basically giving him pointers on how to win at craps.
Exactly.
No,
And
she's
he-
telling him what to do.
Yeah, and he,
Oh, yeah,
and
not
he,
pointers, directions.
Directions.
he wins a bunch of money and then gets kicked out of the casino. They're like, you can't gamble with kids.
But
you
they don't take the money.
No, they don't take the
Dude,
money.
Vegas
They
would
cashed
find
out his chips.
Or sorry, Reno would find any way to take your winnings. Like,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, this video camera has you taking advice from a little girl, and your name is Spanky. So have a seat. We're gonna take these chips away from you. You're
Yep.
done.
He still belong to us.
You're done.
But out of the $400 he wins,
Oh,
She gives him 10 back, which I guess must be what he started with. She's
which,
like,
hey,
here's your
that's-
money back.
She's
that's
worse
me
than the
breaking
fucking
even.
house.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The house always wins. She always fucks you.
Am I wearing lipstick?
ooh.
Not like that with money.
So now they have hundreds of dollars, which
Four.
is helpful. Well, they have other money. 'Cause
$390.
They have $390, but then they've been hustling people
Oh,
all
yeah.
along the way, right?
Yeah,
So-
and then they got robbed by the kids they hustled.
oh, that's right. They did take all the money. Oh, well,
Yeah,
fuck
no,
it.
they have 390. That's it.
Now,
And she's like, "Don't worry." They're like, "There's like 70 games Jimmy doesn't know. How are we gonna know what he's gonna be playing?" And
Oh,
she's like, "Don't
if
worry,
only.
I've got you." And then they call this fucking $4.99 a
Nintendo
minute
hotline.
Nintendo
Yeah,
helpline.
This existed.
Yeah,
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and it was like $4.99 a minute.
I never. Oh my
yeah,
god!
it didn't go that far.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
what
even
the
want to
fuck?
fucking.
It's like it was like a 900 number.
They went through like 70 games.
Yeah.
And this guy gets way into helping them.
Yeah,
he's
he
just
does.
he's just like, hold up, I've got this book somewhere. He's all
Here's
about
my
it.
extension.
He's
Call
just
me
happy
personally.
he's making his quota so his overlords don't whip him.
He's talking to one person. He's probably crushing on her.
You stayed on the phone with a female for over 2 hours, and you made us this amount of
I'm
money.
saying this is
You're
a
doing
whole
good.
day.
Keep it up.
Oh yeah, if they work on commission, this guy is in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm incorrect. Other than long distance charges, it was free. You just had to pay long distance.
Oh.
But they are calling long distance from a hotel room, a very nice hotel room with a
What,
large
you think
bed.
Nintendo's not located in Reno?
It's a nice hotel room in Reno.
This bed is huge.
No. They're
This
probably
They only
bed
had like
is
3
huge.
days. I mean, this is the 80s. Maybe it was like
I could have
80
sworn I
bucks a
remember
night.
seeing the ads in like Nintendo Power that said it cost, and that's why I wasn't allowed to call.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just what your parents told you.
Yeah, because
sure
it
there
was
was some
my
sort
parents
of
were just like,
trick.
just figure it out, you
it's
idiot.
$4.99 long distance.
Yeah, it was long distance charges. They're like, look, you got 12 games. You don't want to figure them out that quick.
Yeah. We just bought this.
Long
for
distance was no
$12.
joke. I remember having to ask my mom, like, "Hey, mom, can I call dad?" And she was like, "Wait another hour."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay."
They go to this arcade in Reno, which is a dope arcade 'cause it's like in the casino.
But-
and it's a bunch of things, and there are these weird, like this very odd thing. There's a little girl
It's
server.
a cigarette
Like
girl.
a cigarette girl.
Yeah,
exactly.
but she's got like candy and shit. And Fred Savage, he like gives her the money. He's like, "Hey, babe," like totally trying to be like a casino guy.
I'm
Mr.
waiting for a
Suave.
toots.
I think it was Toots, wasn't it?
I think it was Babe.
Or
But
was
Hey,
it, babe?
hey, Bubby.
Bubby, baby.
Hey, baby, Bubby.
Hey, can you send that
Keep the
red vine over to
change.
that girl with the nice gams? Like her mother.
Like a mother.
I just died.
Give her some Mikes or Ikes.
Ooh.
Can't afford both.
I'll take the other one.
I don't know why he's like a young Frank Sinatra all of a sudden, but
Because
I
he's
love it.
acting like
He
it.
is kind of
He's got
like
the
He's got the
douchey
sunglasses on.
a little something for yourself. Hey, Jimmy, smacks Jimmy in the face.
By
You
the
ready
way-
to go, Jimmy? Make me a little money.
He bought like red vines or whatever, gave her $1 and said, "Keep the change." I'm like, "How? You're in Reno. Those are
They were probably 50-cent candy
I was
bars.
about to say, it was the
50
80s.
cents in the grocery store,
No, I'm just saying.
not in Reno."
We don't know.
Hey, as long as they get your college fund. Fucking
Breakfast
Reno
for $3,
doesn't care.
Derek.
Yeah, but that's you got to go to the right casino for that. This is like that's like when they're bringing you your drinks. They're overcharging you.
It's Reno, not Vegas.
That's fair. It is the biggest little city in the world. or
You
whatever.
can go make the biggest little mistake of your life.
Yep.
Wait, you're saying you go there and just have an
Are we going?
illegitimate child?
Are we going? Are we going to Reno?
Let's do field trip.
Let's go.
All right. Does
We'll be back.
Does anybody have
Your
or
kids
remember
watch my kids.
what these
Yep.
games are?
They
They play.
It was,
There's some I have, and there's some I didn't know.
yeah, there's a bunch I didn't know actually.
They have TMNT,
Yep.
Mega Man, for
Oh,
sure.
the Mega
It
Man
was
looked
like
great.
Mega Man 2.
It
or
might have been.
maybe
I couldn't remember if it was
3.
1 or 2. 1 and 2 were the ones I played a lot, so I get them mixed up. It's got the flying like head thing
with
with the
the
spikes that
fucking
come out of
spikes.
them, and I can't remember if that was
And this
1
is
or
the
2.
montage
That's why I
part where
wanna
he's
guess.
like, "Watch
It's
out for the
not,
spike
you know.
balloons" or whatever.
Yeah.
Working
We get Metroid,
Metroid.
Super Mario Brothers 2, Contra, Ninja Gaiden. Some racing game. It looked different from the other one. I don't know if it was like a Cruisin' USA or was that only our? Well,
Cruising
I wanna say that
USA
was
was never
arcade.
Nintendo
might-
as far
okay.
as I know. That was
because
just
it wasn't
a
the same
cabinet.
one that kid was playing on the
Nintendo
Power
was
Glove.
Rad
Yeah.
Racer. That was like their first big race.
And
Oh,
then
there was an F1 at some point.
okay, it might have been one of those. They do mention
That-
something about F1 racers
Yeah,
or
that's what-
something
oh,
in
he-
this
he
game.
beats
Isn't that the one
bullies.
Lucas did?
I said in
he-
this game.
He beats the bullies in
Okay.
F1.
yeah, because Lucas was doing Rad Racers.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's a couple others.
He had to fucking select the F1.
had
But
to
either way,
cheat.
I'm sitting here watching it going, I want to play some video games.
Yeah. If it was
Go to an
nice out, I
arcade.
said let's go to golf and stuff.
We got chips. or tokens.
Oh, so you have chips and salsa?
Yeah,
Actually,
and
yeah.
pico.
So then that's the training montage.
You're the best around.
Fred Savage is like, "You're gonna get him, Jimmy."
Quarter in, quarter out.
Fucking, they're just making Jimmy drink raw eggs.
Here's your breakfast down
Why
the
are you
hatch. Play
doing this to
game.
me? California.
California.
And then we cut to the scene where she's sitting on the roof of her house. Because
They end up
not
going
yet.
to her house, but first,
Yeah.
Putnam. So Jim, this is the diner that you were talking about where
Oh,
Christian
okay.
Slater's ordering the fries and shit. They go in, and Christian Slater wants to stay and eat, and Beau Bridges is like, "No, we gotta get on the road." And Putnam pulls up at the same time, and he sees a tow truck driver who he pays $50 to steal this car.
There was a car in between it at first, and that car or truck left.
Yeah.
And then he saw the tow truck and was like, "Oh,
Oh, he gives that face like
Light bulb.
"Say."
yeah.
I'm a dick,
And-
and I have some money.
Ah.
If I get these kids, I get more money."
Dude, this guy's car. There's no way these kids are worth his car. Like, this guy's car is total.
No fucking way. All right, for this to work out for this guy, he's got to be getting paid like $8,000 minimum.
Yeah.
A starting point.
Probably.
You know, the new stepdad. I mean,
How
he
much is
looked
your
like he
kid
had
worth
money,
to
he had
you,
a
man?
suit.
8,000? No, my kid can stay lost.
His wife dresses like olive oil.
Look, they'll find their way.
I
out.
really love my kid.
She's all right. I mean, she's not
I don't have
$8,000.
I
$8,000.
don't have $8,000 though.
I don't have $8,000 '89 money. That's like what, 85 million?
There's no way of knowing.
Yeah.
So you telling me you have 9 more fingers, so I have 9 more weeks? All right, we'll see how this goes.
So Christian Slater sees the teen in Jimmy's like woods landscaping hat that they took from
Pops
him,
his company.
and he comes over and is like, "Hey, where'd you get that hat?" And he's like, "Why don't you go fuck yourself?" And that's when Beau Bridges comes over in the matching hat, and he's like, "No, seriously, where'd you get the fucking hat?"
And the kid is just like, nice hat.
Dude, that kid is so weaselly. I hate him.
He
looks
the actor's
familiar.
done nothing else.
No.
Yeah, I looked him up. He didn't have a picture.
All these 80s kids. The Lucas.
All three
I
bullies.
could have sworn Lucas was in something else.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, he was in
Really?
stuff, but nothing that any of us would have seen, I don't think.
They just grabbed actual Reno people.
I think it's
Might have.
I think Lucas's stuff was a lot of like a one episode of a bunch of different sitcoms and stuff in the 80s and whatever.
Yeah, he only did
The
like 5
random
things.
kid who offers you drugs or wants you to look at the nudie mag or you know, whatever.
Come on, it's just a little bit of marijuana. Why don't you just smoke it?
You are describing my childhood.
Jazz cigarettes.
I was the one offering, by the way. I was trying to get old dudes to smoke with me.
Can't I just do some cocaine off a switchblade in a Catholic school like Seth Rogen? I mean,
Donnie Darko again. Here we go. All right. So then Lucas is sitting at the diner, at the bar area, and he tells Beau Bridges and Christian Slater about the tournament. He's like, "Hey, I know where those little shitbirds are because I'm going there too." Because he doesn't want Jimmy there because he knows Jimmy's good, even though Jimmy didn't play against
he doesn't.
him.
He shouldn't know.
Yeah.
He saw something in a man.
He did. He saw a little bit of
Potential.
himself.
No,
he's not talking shit like normal people.
What
he must
was-
be special.
What was the thing? So this is where they're like wasting money buying stupid shit. Like Fred Savage buys the Groucho Marx glasses, but he talks about some other thing.
they're fake eyeballs.
That's right. They're weighted eyeballs.
And he's like, they're weighted eyeballs. You could put them in your soup. You could do anything.
You
No,
can put
I
them in
think
your
you-
soup. You can put them in your friend's soup.
I think you can just
do
name
anything with
I think
them.
you just named the only things you can do with them, Fred. That's
you can
it.
put them in soup. You can put them in the toilet.
You can put 'em in
a
sorrel.
drink.
I'm glad you brought this up because now she busts out. She's like, no, we don't need entertainment. We need like style or
Disguises.
something, disguises. And she busts out this jacket that we saw the kid at the fake Grand Canyon wearing, the exact one. It's this black denim with the same exact stitching.
Colored
Oh,
circle
but Jimmy,
type shit.
Jimmy
she
does
bite
put
off
the
this kid?
Groucho. Jimmy does put the Groucho Marx fucking glasses
Isn't
on.
it hilarious?
It is so adorable.
Isn't it hilarious how
That's
funny it
If
is?
I had a
Adorable.
kid like
That's
that,
so
I'd never
adorable.
let them
I
run
couldn't
away
deal
and not
with
do
it.
hilarious
I was like, I gotta go
things.
do something else, man. This is fucking saccharine.
It's
My
so
diabetes
adorable.
is kicking in.
This is where he fell asleep because of the diabetic coma.
I had Wilford Brindley come give me mouth to mouth.
How'd you get so sweet? Well, when I was born, my mommy dunked me in a barrel of sugar. Oh, God damn it.
So they see their truck getting towed, and Christian Slater's just like, "Well, guess we're eating here."
Yep.
End of that. And then they end up
I
going
will
to
take
the
those fries well done.
They end up going to the yard that it gets taken to, and the guy's like, I don't know. The guy gave me $50, said take it. How was I supposed to know it wasn't his? Well, you checked the registration.
It looked like salvage.
Yeah, and they're stripping the truck. He's like, well, unfortunately, we already started stripping it. And they go around the corner,
It's
and this
naked.
thing is bare
Down
bones.
to frame.
Down
already.
down to chassis.
And these guys are like using welder like torches to like cut up the frame. I'm like, wouldn't you leave the frame?
No, they
No.
just want the metal. You
They
got a
want
little
scraps,
acetylene
baby.
torch. Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
scrap it.
it's a scrapyard. You keep stuff like that around because then people are like, hey, do you have a chassis for a
But if this is a-
1984 Ford Ranger or whatever
It could be
was?
two different scrapyards. These guys could be just trying to sell metal.
Just a chop shop.
Yeah, just a chop shop.
Chop,
They're
no,
recycling
chop,
like
chop.
in Cherry 2000. Future episode.
Back in Reno, the kids are at the pool hanging out, right? And Fred Savage, I think, or is it someone goes up to the bar? I think it's Putnam. Maybe he's looking. Yeah, Putnam
Yeah.
is looking for
Okay.
them. So he goes up to the bar.
I got some things to say.
Oh, I think we're going to the same place.
Well, but first,
listening.
there it shows like little kids, like little girls in swimsuits, and then all of a sudden it zooms in on this butt in like a thong at first, and I'm like, oh, you can't show little kids, but it's a fully grown woman. I'm like, okay, that's better. And then it cuts to what you're about to talk about
This old man in a banana hammock.
in a like a teal banana.
it's not a
hammock.
banana hammock. He's
It's
got full.
not,
It's a
but-
Speedo.
He's hanging grape,
Oh, he
European
is.
Anybody wearing this,
and that's all.
it's a banana hammock.
He's
I
chewing
don't
on
care.
his sunglasses.
He's
as
like,
if it's
"Hey,
some sort of
baby."
snack.
And he does order 2 draft beers, I think is what he
Lights.
said.
He
Was it
wants
lights?
some lights. Well, he's got to keep trimming that bikini.
Child hunters, no child hunters.
Well, and then Putnam
Oh.
sees Savage walk right past him.
This guy would help you find a kid, by the way. this blue Speedo.
That was a beautiful blue.
You're about 20.
That's actually not his bathing suit. That's just what he wears. When he gets to the pool, that comes right off.
Man, I made direct eye contact with it. I didn't know it was coming. I was like, oh, can't look away.
Was there no shame in the 80s?
No.
No,
There's too
it was the
much
go-go. It was
cocaine
the
in
go-go
the-
80s,
It's the
man.
year of it's the decade of David Hasselhoff.
America owned
I
the
feel-
world. We
I
weren't
feel
ashamed
good.
of our balls.
I feel attractive. So you're on cocaine.
Oh, Will, we shouldn't feel shame
that
about
what
this.
it
We're a
does?
great country. Reagan didn't want you to feel shame.
No, he did not. He was
Boom.
Hollywood.
Winners use drugs. Wait, no, that's wrong. I saw it on so many video games. And I still fucked it up.
Yeah, that's also at the beginning of every video game. Not winners use drugs, by the way. Don't do drugs.
Thank you. I was about to say-
That might be true.
I was gonna say everybody knows what I mean, but there are probably people 3 years younger than us that don't understand. So
I'm
Putnam
4 years
does,
older than you, and I don't understand.
There's a warning at the beginning of a bunch of video games. There's a thing that was like winners don't do drugs, not losers do drugs.
Losers do
winners
drugs.
don't do drugs.
Big
and then
blue
I-
screen, wannabe badge, and
Oh, okay.
winners don't use drugs. And then you
Just losers
found out
do
all
drugs.
the ones who won the Olympics, and you're like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Winners don't do drugs, Lance Armstrong.
Michael
How many
Phelps.
times did you win again?
Well, his was just weed, though.
Yeah, Michael Phelps was fun drugs.
Yeah, I'm all about that because
It was
it's not,
like
he
afterwards,
should get an
wasn't
extra
it?
medal for showing up high.
You should get an extra medal for being the most medal-winning swimmer
Right
while
off
you
the
were
bat.
high.
Yeah,
You have a point, sir.
absolutely.
What was the one comedian talking about just having the drug holiday where it's like you have all the heroin addicts just standing like zombies at the start line, and then all the marijuana users like, ah, shit, that was today.
The cokeheads had a false start.
They're asleep.
They were
started
running the
early.
night before the sun came up. They were getting to the starting line.
Meth
They're
head
like,
stole the finish line, so
"You made it copper?"
Why'd you make the finish line out of copper again?
where's the finish? Oh, I swear I put. Yeah, God damn it, meth heads!
So Putnam sees Savage at the pool, and he just grabs this small child and starts shaking him like a rag doll.
And this waitress, because he shows a picture of the waitress. He goes, "I'm looking for these 2 kids. They're my kids." It walks Fred Savage, and he grabs them, and he's like, "Yeah." And this girl, while he's assaulting this kid, looks and goes, "Your other kid's in the arcade."
Yeah, by the way, while he's assaulting this kid and yelling, "I hate you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, where are the rest of you? Where are any adults?
Ugh. But it was 80s. You were allowed to
It doesn't
manhandle your children.
You know what? My dad didn't do a lot. He would have fought somebody. Like in this scenario,
Yeah?
my dad would have thrown blows. Oh, yeah.
Good.
Don't shake someone's kid.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as he would have heard, like, I hate
You could
you,
shake
like,
your
"All right,
own kid."
I'm perking up. What's happening over there? And he would have been on it. Just give him the old over-under boxing.
So he goes into the arcade. He grabs Jimmy. It just picks this kid up and starts carrying him out while he's fighting. Again,
got
nobody
custody
interfering.
papers in his
I mean,
pocket.
These casinos don't have surveillance.
I
I'm
was
just
gonna
like,
say,
stranger
minimum-
danger.
Minimum security.
Yeah.
Security, where are you? I'm sure all these gamblers are like, well,
There's a
that's
policeman
happening.
right there at the
no,
entrance.
while he's dragging him out, there are literally people at slot machines, old guys and stuff, turned around just watching it like, huh.
This doesn't happen every day.
Minding my own
Haley-
business.
Haley solves the problem. She comes in and she just points at him and screams, "He touched my breast!"
Smart
And these cops
fucking
out of
woman.
fucking nowhere just drag Putnam out of there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he's out in
Pick
5
him
seconds.
Good
but-
thinking, girly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She uses it again later. We don't hear it, but we find out.
Yeah, but then this guy's at the payphone talking. He's like, let me talk to Bateman. And to himself, he's like, touched her breast. She doesn't even have any breasts. Calm down, guy.
Into the payphone.
Yeah,
where
Have
the
a
girl is
seat.
still
have
listening.
have a seat. Hang up the payphone. Have a seat.
So now we're at the trailer park, which is where Haley's
Yeah.
house is, and it's like an empty trailer when they walk up. But
Gotta
then when
tell
they
ya,
go in, it looks
sounds
like
great. I don't see a neighbor.
There was 2 trailers,
That's it.
but they were probably both theirs.
Probably both theirs. It's Boat World.
That's what I say.
This is
I
like
was like
a
trailer park. I don't remember that.
It's not trailer park. Yeah, I guess it's more like Michael Madsen's trailer in Kill Bill.
It's
in the desert.
Vegas vacation trailer.
Oh, no. Yeah, Vegas vacation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I knew what I was saying.
Yeah, you did.
That
The
was
snakes.
an RV.
Let's get the babysitter.
get
Just
the
throw a
babysitter.
box of snakes out.
By the way, Beau Bridges now, like they cut away from that back to Beau Bridges playing Zelda, which is pretty sweet.
And this is Christian fixing the truck. We don't see it.
Yeah.
But he comes out and he's
like
like,
he was helping them.
yeah, he's like, we got it figured out. But yeah, dude, Beau Bridges again, fucking racking that
He's-
Nintendo controller.
He's telling Beau Bridges like, "Hey, we have to go," and he's like, "Hold on, I'm almost done." Whatever. Christian Slater just unplugs. First of all, he only unplugs the controller,
Just turns
which
it
makes
all
the
off.
TV
and it
go
goes
out. Yeah.
But it's Zelda. This is the first game with save capability. Let him hit save.
Yeah. Calm down. Calm down, Christian.
You know this game can save. Let your dad save. He got
Let's
really
go
far.
get my fucking brother,
He's almost got
your
the Master
son.
Sword or something.
Once again, Christian's ruining everything.
That's what they do.
Well, there was nobody named Heather around him this time.
So Haley, they go back to that, and she wants to get this money so she can buy a house? Question mark. Like if they're gonna split this $50,000,
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy a house for not that much in the '80s, but I don't think you could buy a house
You
for
could get
like
a down
20
payment.
grand.
She's gonna buy a houseboat. They
Another
lived on
fucking
Boat
mobile
World.
home. I mean, seriously.
No, she wants to buy a real house. That's what she says. Like she doesn't want to live in a trailer anymore.
A real houseboat.
Whatever. He leans in to try to kiss her, and she shoves him back, and then she's like, "I'm not gonna kiss a boy."
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
And his
And
response,
then Derek's response.
she was like, "This is you, isn't it?" Because his response is, "A girl, maybe."
And then her response is me, plant one.
Yeah. And then they're both like twiddling their feet.
That's how we met.
On top of a boat.
Yeah.
On top of
top
a
of a-
houseboat.
On top of a houseboat in the desert.
Yeah.
With
On
no
top
water.
of a houseboat.
All covered with greens.
I was gonna say all covered with jizz,
There
but
you
hey,
go.
whatever.
Yeah, I'm glad
Well, it
you
was
didn't.
green top.
But then you did.
I did. So
We still had to live through it.
So Putnam shows up here and then takes Jimmy, and she's like, "Hey, don't worry, I've got friends." So we get this truck following Putnam's car, which is still just dragging metal all over the place. Why did you just tear this bumper off, by the way?
You're making yourself really easy to find.
And the truck is behind him, and he doesn't notice because it's a truck, whatever, right?
It's 2 trucks.
And he comes up over. Well, first you just see one, like it's in the lane behind him. Later on,
I think there's both behind him already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
but
wanna
they're
say
like
that's how it
driving like they're
started.
supposed to. They're on the right side of the road.
Not this
Eventually, they end up on both sides of the road.
Yeah.
I think he gets pincer maneuvered.
Oh, he
2
does
by
here.
2.
Yeah.
So
he does.
He does here, but at first
Yeah.
they were just following him, so he's like, whatever. He comes up over this ridge, and there's 2 trucks blocking, and he's like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" And he
Once
looks
again,
behind him, and
an asshole. Instead of like, "Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Might I pardon through?"
and that's one of the trucks. The red truck is
Hawk.
Stallone's truck.
Yeah.
From Over the Top.
And
Oh,
out
yeah.
comes Spanky.
Spanker.
Yeah, out comes Spanky, and he goes, "So you touched her breast, huh?" And
He's
just
like,
fucking
"Oh,
punches this guy in the face.
this
which
again.
I feel like Spanky, knowing Haley and stuff. I mean, anybody would probably do more than just punch this guy in the face.
I thought
once,
just the
but,
one
like,
black eye was not enough. Like
No.
there was 4 truckers minimum.
I mean,
because
it's a
of 4
kids
trucks.
movie, so it's like,
and,
oh,
and he
you know,
used an
but-
icy to like cool down his
Ugh,
black
Oh, that's
eye
the
or whatever
dumbest
fuck it
way
was.
ever. Like,
Gross.
at minimum, hold that cup to your face.
That's what I said.
Don't dip your stupid little napkin in icy and dab it on your
Handkerchief.
face.
It's disgusting.
You deserve that
now your
black
eye is
eye.
sticky.
Yeah.
The ants are gonna come.
Now the
for
bees
it.
are going to
You
attack
want
your
infection?
face.
That's how you get
Ants and
infection.
bees are going to eat your face.
Bees.
Yeah, sugar.
Bees?
Bees?
I got bees on the brain.
Bees.
Buzz,
Buzz. So Spanky ends up taking them to Video Armageddon. The guy who's
Sorry, that's the one for this episode for me. Is so Spanky takes him to video game Armageddon, and I gotta go home.
Yep.
and I'm glad that Patrick's here for this one because this is like the third, I think, appearance of this guy, the guy doing the registration at the Video Armageddon.
Oh my God, it was bugging the shit out of
Lee
me.
Ehrenberg. It's
Scrubs?
from Scrubs.
Yes.
My
Scrubs
Machines.
He
And
was
then
also
and then
in,
he was in Pirates of the
Brain Dead.
But he's on Brain Dead also.
Pirates
which
of
we
the
also
Caribbean's
did.
his biggest role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
and also Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
He's the one that thinks Jerry's a phony. It's maybe 3 episodes, but yeah. Instantly, because of the way this dude talks, I was like, you are familiar as shit. And luckily, I thought of My Machine.
Yeah.
My
My
Machine.
Machine.
I was like,
My
I know
Machine.
you are.
Whose
'Cause he was-
machine is it?
Back
How is
when
that helping?
back when we did Brain Dead, he was in that and he was a homeless guy and he was screaming, but he had all this like fake
It's
hair
my
and
brain.
beard and stuff. And he was like,
Yeah.
"That's my brain." And I was sitting there like, "Why the fuck do I know this
so
guy?"
familiar.
So I go into the IMDb and I'm looking and I see him and I'm like, "That's My Machines."
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have to look him up this time.
No, it was easy.
Yeah.
That one I had to look it up just because, like I said, his face was covered. He was dirty.
The
and I was
energy he did in that scene.
He's
That's why I
signing
was
these
like,
kids
I'm
up and he's
pretty
just like,
sure that's
"Get the fuck
fucking
in there! You're running out of
You're
time."
late. It's almost time to begin.
You
He
think
was
this guy
loving it.
But you think this guy has energy?
Woo!
We get into Video Armageddon, and we've got the announcer,
This
who,
is the
by
best
the
tie
way,
in the industry.
this guy, Highlander 2: The Quickening.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know what I recognized him from? I recognized him from Scooby-Doo, the live action, the first one.
Oh, okay.
He was one of like the voodoo priest guys. He was the main voodoo
Yes.
priest guy.
Didn't you say something that he was in, or no?
That's what I knew him from.
I think I said that.
Okay, maybe you said Scooby Doo. I saw him and I was like, "Is that the Highlander guy?" He's not the Highlander, obviously.
Yeah.
But
There can
he's
only
in
be.
Highlander too. And so this guy though is fucking insane, and he's like
He
finishing
loves
up-
his job, by
Yeah,
the way.
he's finishing up announcing the first thing, and he's like, "Okay, next round," and he's like, "Come up here, my little beauties."
Just in between takes, just
Oh, yeah.
This guy was coked
He's
out of his
railing
skull.
he's got this tie that's like an electrical circuit, and I'm worried about his sweat getting in his coke sweats, getting into this circuit board. Like he is gonna die.
And I never went to a video game tournament. I never really saw him because I didn't like. There was no ESPN the Ocho back then.
No.
but like. This is a pretty sweet tournament. Like, this is a high production.
This is
value.
money.
There's moving like stage work and like I don't know. I thought it was fucking cool.
Oh,
man.
I'll tell you what. Watching this, I was like, man, I would give anything to be there now. Let alone what I would give to be there back when this was. I would have been what 7, 8 years old. Would have fucking just jizzed my little pants for this.
See, I wouldn't have been able to do it yet. I was only 4.
But put yourself at 8 years old.
But yeah, give me another 4 years.
You would have
I'm
been.
in.
This is amazing. This is so much high production, like you said. Moving sets, the countdown. Even like the countdown has like a manual board for it.
And it's got like a thing talking. It's like counting down 5.
Oh, it might as well be
four,
AI
megavirus.
because there's no negotiating with it.
It's also wrong later, but we'll get there
Oh,
in
yeah.
a second. So
What?
the,
AI can't be wrong.
the winners of this tournament end up being Lucas, Jimmy, and some girl named Maura.
Moaning Myrtle.
That is Moaning Myrtle.
Is it?
Might as well be.
It's
no, it's
not.
not. It's
No.
not at all.
I was like, no, that's a little girl. I never saw those movies. I don't know.
yeah, I'm not going to talk you into them.
We bought them because I read
Perfect
most
for
of
this, but I'm not gonna.
I read most of the books and they were fine because I get my mom and my brother read them all, and eventually I was like, I just need books, and it's a whole series.
Full disclosure, I've seen all the movies and read all the books.
I read. I think I was on the 6th book,
a
and
weird flex.
I gave up at the beginning because I was like,
No.
I can't.
You stopped because you were told that Draco killed.
No. I gave up because I was like, fuck this. Because I hated that every book began with the same thing. I'm like, okay, and now Harry's back here, and now he has to wait for the owl, and now he has to. I'm like, just get to the
Harry
fucking
Potter.
school.
Oh,
We
no,
know
you
where
were
we're
very
getting.
upset.
Yeah, like 150 pages of, are we going to go to the school this year? Guess what? You are.
In
That's
fairness,
what the book is
it
called.
was written for younger than us, so we
Well,
were supposed
yeah,
to
but-
read it before we went back to school.
I don't know,
Shared
just-
feelings.
But we watched the first movie. I bought the box
Hashtag we're
set.
too old.
Not me.
I bought the box set, and because I had heard the movies were really good, and so I bought the box set. We watched the first one. first one. I couldn't stand it. Found out later, directed by Chris Columbus, so that's
First
not
two.
a surprise. And I couldn't. I was like, everybody says these are like good movies. These are fucking baby people movies. It's the first two.
The
that
first
are baby
two are
people
Columbus,
movies.
yep.
So one of these days, I've got it on Blu-ray. One of these days, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it with you. I got no problem with that.
Because I feel like it's going to be awesome. It's kind of like when I saw the trailer for Fast and the Furious 17 or whichever one I saw.
Now you've lost me.
Where I was like, wait, this movie actually looks kind of cool. I skipped the last 11.
Ugh.
And then it turned out it wasn't. But when I saw the trailers for Deathly Hallows, I was like, wow, that looks awesome.
Fist of Fireman 17. I didn't see the first 16.
I never finished it. Okay,
So anyway, they get in.
Wizard.
This guy, the announcer, keeps saying 50,000 smackaroos. He doesn't just say smackaroos once. He says 50,000 smackaroos at least 3 times.
Yes, he
He
does.
can't say anything normal.
No, and he is excited about his job.
Roxo. I like cocaine. And electric ties.
Yeah.
So Putnam and the stepdad and mom arrive, and they're all talking outside, and the dad is just like doesn't give a fuck. He's just eating some shit. And the mom even says when they go off, when they find out or they hear Fred
drinking.
Savage, and he's it's like an icy or something because and she's like, can you stop eating?
Yeah.
She says, you stop eating.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, why is she saying that? Because he's literally just drinking out of a cup.
Lucas and his gang confront Fred Savage and Jimmy and Haley outside on the stairs of this place.
Choke.
Guess who one of these
Oh.
kids
I
was?
didn't have to guess. I saw this shit right away. No IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Tobey Maguire.
1,000%.
Little but mulleted baby Tobey
mulleted.
Maguire.
And like the pink shirt, he
He's
was on
wearing,
the.
it's either Gecko
TV,
brand or MB. It's one of them fucking colored ones that we all love.
Those
from
ones
the,
that change when they get hot.
That's
It wasn't
Hypercolor, my
Hypercolor.
friend. It was not that. Gecko, MB, maybe Stussy.
Oh, Body Glove?
Some
There you go,
Massimo.
thank you.
Like these are brands
Yeah.
that were these late 80s, early 90s treasures.
Yeah, he looks.
I
Just
had
like
all
Tobey
of them.
Maguire, which
No
is weird.
Fear. It wasn't a No Fear shirt.
No, because there was no angry eyes on it. Putnam is looking for these kids, and I think he ends up asking Lucas, or Lucas just overhears, and he's like, "Oh, I know where they are," and fucking sells them out because he doesn't want the competition.
Oh yeah, no. Lucas goes, "Hey, guy in the black shirt down there."
Yeah,
Like
Oh
he
yeah, he
calls
like
him
yells
out.
for him. That's right.
Over here.
Because he knows Jimmy's competition.
He knows,
Jimmy knows.
that Putnam will respond to a small child yelling at him.
Oh yeah. As soon as Putnam hears "Hey you," he's like, "Oh." No, he's not Tim Allen.
And they go to get on the. They're trying to get away from Putnam, and they jump on the Universal Studios tour because I guess they're at Universal Studios.
Yeah,
I will
same,
have to
same
say-
thought. I'm like, oh, are we backlots
That's
tour
why.
now?
That's why I thought that was that guy. As soon as they walked up to the registration thing, I was like, he's in a lot of Universal.
Oh,
shit.
okay.
I have to say, I was
Love
actually
that.
impressed that the kids are doing their own stunts on this. I
Oh,
mean,
climbing
granted,
on the tram?
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
like
it's
the
minimal
tram is
stunts, but they're
moving,
climbing through this tram while it's moving.
Yeah.
So.
and the fire's actually there from the
Pretty
King
sure they
Kong
wouldn't
thing.
be doing that now. You know, like
Exactly.
That's,
It would
that's
all be
insurance
CG'd.
is like, okay, guy, yeah,
or stunt doubles
they'd be on a green screen doing
Yeah,
it.
it would be the kids doing
yeah, I
it,
was
but they'd
just
be
about
on a
to
big
say is-
padded green screen.
with dummies and not real people.
Which, you know what? It sounds like we don't want children to be safe, but we just like practical effects.
we
is
do
all.
love practical effects here.
That's all.
So Beau and Beau Bridges and Christian Slater see them, and so they get on too. So it's the 3 kids running through the trolley, being pursued by pedophile Putnam, being pursued by Beau Bridges and Christian Slater, and they're just climbing over people and shit. And I love it because this announcer is doing his job, you know. And he does mention some fake movie starring Pee Wee Herman and Zsa Zsa Gabor, which is funny.
Dude, I'd watch
Lead
it.
romantic literally.
I'd watch it.
And they get to the front though, and the guy's just I wrote down exactly what he said. He was like, just sit down and have fun, damn it.
I say that every time I bartend. Just sit down and have fun, damn it!
And this is when they're
Stop
at the
talking
King
politics.
Oh,
this is when they're at the King Kong part. There's the fire and the shaky bridge, so it makes it more like tense, I guess, even though, you know, it's all pretty safe.
Yeah.
But I think that's the idea, was it's like it's a big moment in the movie.
Nobody's supposed to stand next to the flamethrowers.
Crazy coked out announcer guy is like, hey, there's 2 minutes left, 2 minutes.
So he's
but the
sweating
clock
it.
says 1 minute very clearly.
Oh, okay.
And it starts counting down to 59 seconds, whatever.
You
and
know
then
what?
later on, he's like, okay, 30 seconds.
No.
And it's at 30 seconds. And I'm like, wait, it's been a minute.
They
and 30
fixed it in
seconds.
post.
I think originally he yelled 1 minute, and then they were like, this takes way longer than 1 minute.
Hey, it's
We don't have
America.
enough time.
Nobody's gonna notice that.
We can't count. So there's this whole pursuit through the back with Putnam, and they end up getting on this little like elevator thing, and like at the last second they pull the handle to go down, and Putnam's like, "Where you going?" And I'm like, "You didn't see them on the
Right?
elevator?"
What's that
They all
thing?
got into
What
a little
is that?
caged room.
Like-
You're the thank God, but you're the worst child catcher that's ever existed.
Ever.
Like a dog catcher.
I'm really bad. I'm really glad you're bad at your job.
But he said he was the best.
Yeah, that's not saying much.
Oh, that's right. She even yells at Christine. We're going to rewind just like 2 minutes.
best ones
Christine
never get caught.
yells at him. You were supposed to have him home in hours. It has been 9 days.
By the way, you said worst road trip ever. This seems pretty fucking fun to me.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
Worst road trip movie. How's that?
camera wise, like film wise, they're having
Thank
some
you.
really cool road trip shots.
Yeah, they are.
Like I wouldn't mind plotting this for my actually own road trip.
Yeah, and I got to do it this way. I'm gonna hitchhike. I'm gonna get killed. Oh, wait,
Gonna get robbed by farmers.
Well, I figure I can just play video games to get myself there, right?
You're gonna hustle
Yes,
with video
that's all you have to
games,
do.
you
earn
just go.
money
You go
to
into all the
travel.
arcades along the way, and you bet people.
I'm
Oh wait,
gonna look right at the bartender and say, "I got 50,000 on Double Dragon," and he'll pour me a shot.
exactly. So they count down, and time runs out, and Jimmy's not on stage, and Lucas was like,
Well, Prince Savage
And
was
he did
calling
his
down to
weasel
them
laugh.
before they were in the elevator.
"Yeah." Well,
And he
Lucas is
heard 'em,
ignoring
and
them.
they were
Yeah, and they go, "Well, fuck it, we're starting the tournament." And these big doors rise up, and Jimmy's already standing there. Now,
At the middle
okay,
of console.
he wasn't where he was supposed to be, so I would think he'd be disqualified. Also, you're already at the console, so like, were you playing the game? Were you cheating? Like, I
No,
don't
he
know.
was just leaning on it.
I mean, once
No,
the
but
doors
I'm
go up.
with Derek on this. If I'm in charge, I'm like, "Hey, what were you doing back there, guy?"
Yeah, but this guy's just excited. He's like, "Cool, we've got 3
We
fucking
got the 3
contestants."
ones we said we were gonna have.
God, like you couldn't just pull up the 4th place winner.
And
Yeah.
they did tell him when they finished, and they were like, "Okay, you're gonna come back." They're like, "You're gonna be playing a game we guarantee you've never played before," and they're like all pissed about it. And I'm like, "Well, what's the problem? It's an even playing field." Like,
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, but
Jimmy,
that's not
Jimmy,
what she wants.
but Jimmy is so good that like he would be the one that could pick it up the quickest. Lucas has practiced all these games a bunch. Jimmy just picked up Double Dragon and got 50,000 or something.
if that's a big deal,
yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like it's probably a number.
sounds
Remember there
impressive.
being scores or points in there.
Hi, who knows? So that's what they do. They're playing Super Mario Brothers 3, which is the big reveal. Hadn't come out yet.
What?
So this is a big commercial for that. And then immediately people are like, "Get the whistle! You can teleport!"
Find a warp. Find a warp.
Yeah.
What are you fucking talking about? I told her when they started playing, I was like, "I'm waiting for someone to go behind one of those white blocks."
Oh yeah.
She's like,
Oh,
"Well,
yeah.
they've never played it before." But then it's like, "Get the whistle!"
When they were got the white blocks, I'm like, you just gotta hold duck for a little bit, man. Like 3-4 seconds, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Go behind the thing.
I wanted to
But
say
then
the
she had a
only
good
reason I
point,
knew
though.
of that was from
You don't
that
get as many
movie.
points that way.
Yep. You
You
need
got
more
to stomp
points.
turtles and as Beau Brudges. Fuck.
Beau Brudges.
As Beau
he holds
Bridges.
grudges.
Yes, he does.
As Beau Bridges puts it, you got to get the mushroom, or you got to watch out for the mushroom.
Watch out for the mushrooms.
Like,
I was
we
like,
know-
you
we
want
know
the
you
mushrooms.
want mushrooms, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about Goombas.
I want Beau Bridges to, yeah, right. I want him to yell that every time I go out to a party.
Watch out for the mushrooms. So he's watching.
Why are
he
you
starts,
always here?
He starts losing his fucking mind. It's
He's like, "That's my boy."
He is, but he's not just like, "That's my boy." He's shrieking
front
and
row at a
flailing his
White
arms
Snake
around.
show.
and
Yes,
like,
he
yeah.
is.
He's a teenage girl at a Backstreet Boys concert.
He's a Beau Bridges at a CCR concert.
Ooh.
So then Putnam comes up. The mom is standing there. He's like, "Oh, hey, look, I found him." And he's like, "So we've still got a deal, right?" And she's like, "You shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
You
Quit trying to
fucking-
nap my kid.
You're fucking
Weasley,
done.
little fuck twat."
We wish you were William H. Macy, sir.
He did also tell her earlier in the movie that she needs to pay extra for her crazy ex.
Oh, yeah, you didn't tell me it
Oh,
was
yeah.
crazy. You pay extra for crazies.
Yeah, that's in the contract.
Yeah.
Right there, pay extra.
You signed
for
it.
crazies. So they Jimmy's falling behind because he dies a couple of times, and Mora's not doing good at all. I mean, Jimmy does end up falling behind her, but she's behind pretty much the
But
whole
like
game.
Lucas and Jimmy, when they were like neck and neck, it was something like 36,000 points to 5.
Yeah.
Like she was well
She's-
behind.
Yeah, and I mean when they're getting to the end, it's like
know why?
I think Jimmy has 81.
girl.
Yeah.
Girls can't play
Oh, by the
games.
way, the announcer guy is like the beautiful Mora something
Pulls
or
And
other.
plays
I
with
was
her
like,
pigtails.
Calm down, guy, and have a
have
seat.
a fucking seat,
Yeah,
bro.
take that. Have an electric seat. Got electric tie and an electric chair.
So Jimmy's falling behind, but he does end up finding the warp whistle. He gets ahead to World 4 with the giant stuff. And then
My favorite world, by the
like-
way.
you
It's a
like-
fun one. And he gets the star at the end, which I guess is worth more points. Makes sense.
Yeah, because that's what Haley keeps
Only
saying.
if you get
the
3 of
star.
them.
Get the
Yeah,
star.
Well,
that's
no,
how-
like
that's how
when
you
you hit
know.
the block at the end, not
Yeah.
not the match thing. Which, by the way, that gave me fucking PTSD flashbacks. When you have the star, leaf. I was like,
Oh,
how
I
many
liked-
times did that happen to me?
I like top of Toad's head, middle of Toad's head, and then star because it was like a saber-toothed toad.
But that happened to me all the time because you're pretty much always trying to get the star, right?
Uh-huh.
And with the way they're positioned, that's how it ended up a lot. Was it would fall on the flower, and you're just like, fuck.
Motherfucker! I wanted those lives.
But he gets the star at the end where it's got the little flashy beady 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 beady
Yeah.
thing. That's what.
Yeah,
it's,
the
that's what it's called.
perfect.
The beady beady thing.
Beady, 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 beady. Bum bum.
Beady beady beady. That's all, folks. All right. So Jimmy wins. He jumps ahead, gets 81,000 points. Now Putnam all of a sudden is like, "Hey, I know that kid."
Yeah, calm down. You're not going to get laid from these. You should be in jail.
Yes.
Stop
Yeah.
trying to like
He like
get
turns
these little.
he turns like a 14-year-old girl. I know that kid. Hey, you want to hang out?
You want to have
What?
pizza later? I know that kid. I could have him. I can visit us like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the happy ending for that. And they start driving home, and fucking Sam McNeil and his wife and Jimmy are in one car that has
Oh
a big back
my
seat.
God.
With 4
And
people.
everybody else is in Beau Bridges' fucking pieced together
Chevy.
whatever little truck it is.
Single
Yeah.
it's
Single
like, This
cab.
is like a Chevy S10 single cab pickup.
Yeah.
This is not much.
And it gets worse.
Unbeknownst to us, there's
gets
seats
worse.
in the back.
Well, it's like the whole
Yeah.
time I'm like, God, you have 2 of the 3 largest people in this movie in this cab.
Yeah.
This is not good.
So you got Beau, you have Christian, you have Savage, you have Jimmy, and you have Haley. That's 5. There's,
No, Jimmy's in the back.
Jimmy's
oh yeah,
in the
Jimmy
other
is.
car,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah, thank God you did that favor.
Yeah. And Jimmy has them pulled over, and this is so they go to this place, which I've been here. I kept telling her, I was like, I've been here.
Isn't this the Pee Wee Herman?
Yes.
It's in Pee Wee
Yeah,
Herman also.
Exactly what I saw from it too.
It's this dinosaur thing. It's a real tourist attraction. I don't know if it's still there.
Like Jimmy's trying
like-
to get out of the car. He's
California,
like,
California.
Yeah, and
child
I was
box.
I was telling her, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've
Child
been
hunters.
there.
Yeah.
Like it looked really familiar aside from just these movies. But when he was inside of the
He's calling it out.
Brontosaurus, I was like, I have been there because they could just as soon as they get inside, it's like that weird texture and there's like the poles. I was like, I've literally been inside of that spot right there. I didn't even know it was in this movie.
You sat on it.
I sat where Jimmy sat.
Aww.
In the puppet theater.
Yeah.
And then they run after him, and they're like, "Where did he go?"
So this is what he calls California because he didn't really understand. He has this picture of Jennifer, the whole family, and that's what he remembers.
The last time
This
she
is-
was happy or
Yeah,
whatever.
it's the last picture. It's right
Happy
before
and
she died,
alive.
and he's like, "This is California. It's the dinosaur place."
Yeah.
So he didn't even give a shit about being in LA or going to any of this stuff. He's like, "Dinosaur. That's California." So then he leaves the lunchbox there, and it's heartwarming and special.
It's all the feels.
And then
Whitney
where
cried.
she
I
was last
definitely-
happy.
I cried.
And this is where it gets worse because now the mom is like, you know what? Maybe I won't be an asshole to Beau Bridges. Why don't you take all the kids home? And she leaves in her car.
we
with
trade
talk
all-
cars. Hold
about
on, where are
it
you going?
later.
Wait. Like, can we swap cars until we get back?
Squeeze
But
one
then
more little shit in there.
We find out Christian upgraded this truck and puts 3 seats in the bed of the truck.
Yeah, which why the fuck weren't they sitting there before?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Why wait till now? We've been asshole to elbow over here.
And they ride off into the 8-bit
Oh.
sunset.
There's one more cute part. Haley's in the middle, and you got Jimmy and Fred, and then Fred kisses her cheek, and she kisses, she kisses Fred's cheek, and then she kisses Jimmy's cheek, and then Jimmy kisses her cheek back.
Because he likes her
He's
now.
coming out of his shell.
Now they're gonna
He's
have a
not
weird.
shy
Now they're gonna have a
anymore.
weird family throuple.
Real weird family throuple.
I know. I was like, Jimmy's gonna be like, remember that time we had the same girlfriend?
I mean, hey, it's Utah.
Remember when we hit it
Oh.
family style?
It's Utah, guys.
That's fair. So that's that. Roll credits. Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, beep, boop. I don't know. It wasn't an 8-bit song. It should have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man,
The
On
title
an
was
otherwise
good.
already great soundtrack.
Yeah.
that would have been a cherry.
And we all watched.
case.
We all watched the special edition one that I got from Shout Factory, which has that super dope 8-bit case, and then the menu is like the 8-bit thing with
Oh,
the music and
yeah.
stuff. I was like, man, this is awesome. That means this movie's gonna suck.
No, and you know what? We'll get to Rex right now.
Yeah, wife.
2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
I loved
3?
this movie.
yeah
I'm
this
giving it
is,
2.
This is a recommend for me. I mean, it was just drips with
damn it.
It
nostalgia.
held.
It had story. It had the best shitbird actors that we can get.
Yeah.
And it breezed by. I didn't check the clock.
It really
once.
did. It really, really did breeze
So,
by.
Yeah, recommend for me.
Patrick?
Oh my god, damn it! Worst road trip movie I've ever seen.
Oh, so your thumbs down on
Have
the
you
way.
not seen National Lampoon's Vacation?
Have you
I
not
have,
seen
but
a
I've
road
also
trip?
seen a Goofy movie, and still, I'd rather watch either of those before this again.
Really, you didn't like it?
I had the nostalgia going into it because, hey, I was there as a kid at the random local theater or whatever to watch it, and yeah, that'd be great, but that's not reality.
I
That's
didn't
movie
expect that.
magic.
Yeah, I didn't
Out of
either.
left
course
field.
not.
I recommend it.
I expected that.
I didn't go into it thinking I was going to recommend it. I literally bought it because I was like, oh, cool, it's a Shout Factory release, and we can do it for back to school special. And I was like, it'll probably have some interesting special features, whatever. That's cool. I love this. I thought it was awesome.
Let's
I had a
compare
great
it to
time.
another advertisement of a movie, Space Jam. I'll take this over Space
Yeah,
Jam.
I'll take this.
new
over
I
one
haven't
or
seen
the
Space
old
Jam in a long time.
I
doesn't
mean,
matter.
you know what? Whatever you remember it as is the best it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
Like Looney Tunes.
Plain and simple.
I wasn't a big fan then, so
Oh, okay. Well, it's not going to get better.
nope.
Yeah, exactly. However you remember it, that's the best it's going to be.
Leave sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah, please.
All right.
Well, that's it for back to school month. All the kids are back in school, and parents have tons of free
School's
time.
in for
Why haven't I heard about this?
Isn't that how school works? Kids go to school, parents have all kinds of free time? No? Okay,
Oh
that's
man,
weird.
all the child hunters
Why did
are
you
out
have
of
so
work.
many kids then?
After this, we're not doing a theme for a little while. We do have a special coming up for October, but the next movie we're going to cover is a film from 1987
Is that
called
Melanie-
Cherry 2000.
Melanie Griffith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Melanie Griffith, some random guy, Tim Thomerson from Trancers,
I hope you like barely seeing Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Do you like
farts in that
shadow
movie.
tits?
I love Shadow Tits.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next one. It'll be super fun for everybody involved.
Tints or tits?
Tits,
Titties.
Oh, okay.
Tetons,
I haven't
Nerps,
seen that,
dude.
I guess.
Yeah. Perky nerps.
Nerps, the pinks.
The pinks. Areolas, dude.
So that's it. Don't forget to check out Evasion. This upcoming Saturday, there's an event going on at Harbottle.
At Harbottle, we actually got a fun neighborhood block party happening. So it's going to be on Saturday, September 2nd. We're going to have a couple breweries, some squirt guns, water guns, whatever you want to call them, and a dunk tank. $5 for 3 balls or $20 just to push that button. Dump
Oh,
your-
you wanna push that button?
Yeah, $20, dude. Push that
Fuck
button.
yeah.
Free
Soak
hot
your
dogs.
bartenders.
I don't want to throw skill into this.
I don't want anyone to see me throw a ball.
I'll pay $5 for the 3 balls, and when I miss, I'll pay $20 to push the button.
Exactly.
You betcha.
So come down, hang out, drink some awesome beers, have some free hot dogs, and dunk your favorite Harbottle employee.
Fuck yeah.
And then make sure we follow us on all our social medias and whatnot. Twitter or whatever it's called now that's got an X on it. It's not a bird. I don't know. Some
Oh,
Elon Musk shit.
Dead bird.
Dead
Facebook,
bird.
Instagram, all that stuff. You know, make your friends follow us. Buy shirts. Buy hats. I have
Email
Buy
us.
your coffee mug.
buy coffee mugs, buy laptop cases, whatever. TeePublic's got it all. You take the image that we designed and you put it on whatever merchandise they have. I have some sweet hats still available. Fitted hats from Branded Bills right here in Arizona. Little leather patch that's branded. It's awesome. Hit me up for that. But until next week, I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Jack.
Patrick.
Good night and bleep bloop.